pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine partners.
My bitch a choosing lover, never fuck without a rubber. Never in the sheets like it on top of the cover. Money on the dresser, drive a compressor. Top notch hoes get the most, not the lesser. Trash like the fuck for $40 in the club. Fucking up the game, bitch, it gets no love. She be cross country, giving all that she got. 1,000 a pop, I'm pulling business off the lot. I smashed up the gray one, bought me a red. Every time we hit the parking lot, we turn head. Some hoes wanna choose, but them bitches too scary. Your bitch chose me, you ain't a pimp, you a fairy.
A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine partners.
Baby, you been rolling solo, time to get down with the team. The grass is greener on that other side. If you know what I mean, I show you shit you never seen. The 7 wonders of the world. And I can make you the 8th if you wanna be my girl. I say my girl, I don't mean my woman, that ain't my style. Need a real street stalker, walk a green mile. Piling up the paper on the dining room table, cause you able to realize I'm the truth and not a fable. Baby, rockin' Russian sable, keep that chiller on the rack. What I look like with some $1,000 shit up on my back. I'm $1 million man, they need $1 billion bitch. Put my pimpin' in your life, watch your daddy get rich. Easy as ABC, simple as 1, 2, 3. Get down with UGK, Pimp CB, you with B. Cause what's a hoe with no pimp, and what's a pimp with no hoe? Don't be a lame, you know the game and how it goes. We try to get chose.
A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine partners.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? How you doing? Prestonick, Sean, Wazoo, Sasnick, Gary, Hannah, Sean again, Pope, Griswold, Thomas. I know I'm missing plenty of people. Thanks, guys. Much appreciated. Yes, it is. It is a cover of Peanuts, not necessarily a Charlie Brown specifically, but you're a damn nerd anyway. The name of the, you know, it's funny you asked that, Gary. You're not the first person to ask that. I don't actually know what the name of the song is. What's up, James, Beverly, Moderates United, Liz. So what happened is that I found this song from a meme. If you guys know, I don't know if you guys even know what this is. YTMND.com. I was really hooked on it when I was in like towards the end of college and law school. Like it was basically, they were like the OG, in my opinion, they were like the OG creators of memes, you know, that we know today. And one of the ones that I had, where all they have are usually GIFs with music or a soundbite in the background, and this one was the classic Peanuts characters dancing around, a portrait of it, and it had and the tagline was it's a rap Christmas, Charlie Brown, and then it had this song. Well, this song goes to like somebody's dead MySpace page, so it tells you how old this damn thing is. And I honestly can't tell if I can't tell the name of the song because I can't play anything on the MySpace page. So that's my long story short. I could probably give you the idea of the name. I couldn't tell you who the artist is. I couldn't tell you the actual name. So I don't know. But if you want a copy of it, you let me know. Send me a message and I'll show it to you. Yeah, exactly. What's MySpace? So, yeah, we're gonna move off Karens. I mean, I've had my fill. I feel like I've seen just about every Karen video that over the past year, within the last 2 weeks. So, we're going to take a look at this, which Van Balian just uploaded earlier today. Should be interesting. I think I watched a few hours of it. So, tonight's beer is Ship Bottom Brewery's Barnegat Lager. It's I haven't tried this. Again, I haven't tried this yet. It is a classic German-style lager. Tribute to the most iconic landmark on Long Island Beach. So, There it is. Shit bottom. And let us begin. Links in the description and at the pinned comment. And you may have also noticed I have super chats live, but don't expect to jump scare me. I have not set those alerts up. I haven't figured out how to do that yet without breaking my other channels like setups. So yeah, but why do you want to jump scare me in my SovCit channel?
Grand Rising, everybody. This is Fatina L.
Yep.
Coming to you from Manitoba Republic, Winnipeg Territory. I do have a disclaimer regarding this video. Don't want to take too much time going into it, so it's going to be in the description box when the video uploads.
What's up, Marvel?
This video is regarding...
I know it'd be funny.
On September the 10th.
My viewers on my gaming channel have had lots and lots of fun scaring the shit out of me.
Police services or service. Basically on September the 9th, I, via FedEx, mailed out my paperwork regarding my status correction, proclamation, and name change to notify all local authorities.
That's not how it works.
That I have nationalized, basically returned back to my ancient mothers and forefathers' customs, beliefs, etc., and that I am no longer the all caps. So, on the 10th, while traveling my ancestral estates with my cousin, who's also indigenous, we were randomly stopped by the Winnipeg police for reasons unbeknownst to us. So, we stopped. We thought basically they were after somebody else because there was a car behind us.
Heart rate near 120 before you even got rolling.
And then on a one-way street down McDermott, the car that was behind us...
What's up, Cat?
Turned, and then it was just us and the police. So when they put on their emergency lights...
Yeah, I know, right?
We, out of courtesy, moved out.
Yeah, are they including the Republic of Canada with their indigenous territory?
They stopped behind us.
What's up, John?
Proceed
What's up, Joe?
Towards my window, asking me for my identification. So, I, out of courtesy, which obviously I'm not required by law, but I did provide them. And by the way, these were badge numbers 2544, an unconscious more, and badge number 29.
When she says, okay, I posted this in the comment section. When she said an unconscious Moor, is she saying that the one of the officers was black or an African American or Canadian, African Canadian? I think that's what she means when she says an unconscious Moor. He hasn't woke yet. Oh yeah, I added Nightbot to the mix, so yes, that's a thing now.
986. So out of courtesy, I provided the...
What the hell? Why did you... Okay, I need to fix that already. Because Marvel Girl's in all caps, so she might... People trying to talk to Marvel Girl might get timed out by Nightbot. God damn it.
Or address and all of that good stuff. So he asked me for my birth date. Again...
Hey, Deacon.
I proceeded with my nationality identification. This one here. And this is not only recognized federally, but internationally as well. So, again, out of courtesy, I provided them with that information because it had my born day as well as my domicile. He said it'll take 2 minutes, went to his cruiser, took a while, came back about 5 minutes later, and stated that this identification is not a lawful form of identification.
Kinda.
That in Manitoba, to operate a motor vehicle, you need a driver's license and registration that are registered in Manitoba. So I proceeded to tell him that, first of all, I am indigenous to the land and I am traveling, secondly. So as I am traveling, I do not require a driver's license. I don't want to go into further detail, but in the description box...
Okay, this is now the second or third time you said that.
Information regarding driving versus traveling and what's the difference. But the short end of the stick of it is that if you're, for example, a cab driver with a passenger who's going to pay you at the end of the trip, that would be considered driving. if you're simply traveling for
I mean, to give it there are lots of theories, Deacon, but to give you the at least this version's, but I'm gonna try actually make it short, not unlike this person. The short end of it, a lot of these guys who do the whole right to travel thing, they try to make a distinction between, operating your car, for personal use, such as going to the grocery store or going to see a movie or what have you, versus, driving your car as part of your business, like you're a truck driver, you're a cab driver, Uber. They go under the idea that a license is only needed if you're doing it as part of your business or for commercial activity. It comes from a very archaic terminology, archaic definitions of driver, of motor vehicle, of automobile that they glean from, law dictionaries from 1910, 1896, when vehicles and cars were not as commonplace as they are today, and only were the purview of either the wealthy for personal use, or they were used as means of transportation for cargo and passengers. So from there they latch onto it, and thus they come to this conclusion that they don't need a driver's license if all they're doing is going about their way to go to get groceries or go from what they say point A to B. There you go.
That's traveling, because nobody's paying at the end of it. Anyways, long story short, driver's license, birth certificate, all of those instruments are not lawful forms of identification. So I did inform this to this officer, and he became
Match my heart rate. Yeah.
Went to his car, couldn't determine what to do next, etc., and then proceeded to come back to me, approach my conveyance. So I rolled down my window and proceeded to speak with him. I informed him that he should call for a backup, basically a supervisor. So this issue
supervisor. Do I have that? Yes.
And I can be on my way. So long story short, he did call a backup after a few wasted minutes. The backup was badge number 2407. This person looked at both of my identification, dismissed them basically as fraudulent, claimed that he was going to be confiscating them, and basically encouraged the other two officers to go ahead and escalate the situation. So I was demanded to provide a driver's license, or that I was going to be arrested, blase. Again, I said that I wasn't driving, that I have nationalized as an indigenous,
Oh yeah, name and badge number.
That's recognized all over the planet. He got upset, told me that I was being put under arrest for.
Sweet Juris is, oh my god. This goes to show you an example of
justice, whatever that means.
Of age. Yeah, it essentially means of age. I forgot. The reason I forgot is because, again, I'm an attorney who, these guys really latch onto fucking Latin and archaic Latin terminology that most modern attorneys don't learn or need to learn.
I was arrested.
But Sweet Juris is Latin for of age, or of one's own, or something of my own accord, or something like that.
They proceeded to basically.
No, sui juris is there. It is a Latin phrase, but it's archaic. It's never referred to. It hasn't been referred to in legal documentation for 100 years at least.
And again, I was taken to the police headquarters against my will. Mind you, not having a driver's license, running through a stop sign, whatever the heck those things are, those are not arrestable offenses. So the reason I was arrested, basically very suspicious, and will have to be addressed in federal court. So long story short,
she's now said long story short at least 5 times now.
Via kidnapping.
Oh, kidnapping.
And coercion. He went through my car, like I said, took a bunch of paperwork that has nothing to do with him, the situation at hand, and basically stole my IDs. because I didn't give permission to them to be confiscated. They were confiscated, and they still are to this day. Was held up in the police headquarters for over 4 hours for no reason, and I had to protest that.
I think you'd be surprised how many people claim that when they're being arrested by the police that they say they're being kidnapped. It happens a lot more often than you think.
That I have to pick up my children from school. Not because obviously writing me 3 tickets for no good reason. You can see their numbers there. Sorry, it's kind of sunny here. So those are the 3. First one says disobeying a traffic control device, namely a stop sign. Anyways, it was on McDermott. No stop signs, but traffic lights. Second one ending in 95. It says as a driver failed to give name, date of birth, or address to a peace officer when required. Again, false, because I provided my national ID, has my domicile, born date, and my appellation. Third one says as a driver failed to produce license and any other document respecting a vehicle to a peace officer when required. Again, I was not driving, I was traveling. I mentioned this, and I did produce a form of identification that's actually lawful, as driver's license and birth certificates are not. I'm going to put that in the link regarding this information. So long story short, when I protested that I needed to pick up my children from school, was finally released. Didn't get my phone call to call anybody to be picked up because I was traveling, and with my conveyance confiscated, I had no way to get around. They basically didn't give 2 hoots about it. Didn't even let me put on my shoes, and kept telling me go through this door, and they were right behind me, those 2, badge number 2544 and badge number 2986. And before I know it, I was out on the street with a bag in my hand and these 3 tickets and no way to get around. Anyways, long story short, those 3 tickets I was supposedly supposed to pay them at federal court or provincial court, sorry. And they still use my old name even when I told them, I have nationalized.
Because
So,
you
long
didn't
story
go
short,
for an official name change. They're going to refer to you by your birth name or what they have on record.
First option is to pay it online. Second one is to admit to the offense but seek a reduction in time or fine in order to pay that. And the third option was to dispute the charge and request a hearing. I went ahead and wrote to the provincial court and mailed it out via FedEx. So their response, this is the response. So even though I use my appellation when addressing...
Can't see shit, Captain. Too bright.
The response came back under my old name again.
Yeah?
That's the ticket number, and it's quashed. That's the second one. And again, it's quashed under my old name as well.
Canada. Hang on. Disposition, quashed, ticket number, offense date. Has been. I can't see.
Old name as well.
I'm not trying to dox her. I just want to see what the actual letter says that she got back.
And the third one under my old name again and quashed. And the third one under my old name again.
The ticket was faulty. I think that's what it said.
Again and quashed.
It said that the ticket was faulty.
And the third.
I'm looking at the bottom text.
Again,
That's what the first sentence says. No further action is required. So the cops messed up somehow, I think. So the cops messed up somehow in writing their the ticket. Because I think the first two lines says the ticket was faulty. No further action is required.
As well. And the third one, under my old name again.
Yeah, I can't read the rest of that. I can't read the rest of it though.
As to why all of this happened, etc., etc. Because when I wrote to them, I wrote to the chief of police, Danny Smith, as well. I demanded for all my IDs to be returned to me, and because the provincial court is the court that receives payments from so-called people, I demanded from all of them basically that they provide me with all the video surveillance from the time of my interaction with the policy enforcers.
Oh,
until the
policy
time I was
enforcer.
released. Because kidnapping is an international crime, and basically these people have to answer to it in federal court. All the badge numbers involved have to be sued in their both private and public capacities. So long story short, I did.
That's numbered like 7 or 8 now. She said that.
I wrote it on the 13th.
Gotta be a
and
tick.
I gave them till the 18th to return to me my identifications without any further interaction with them. But I did still wanted the video surveillance.
So she's trying to go ahead and
For
sue the cops
justice to take
for
its
the simple
course.
fact that they stopped her.
So long story short, only the provincial court responded with quashing those tickets, but none of the stuff that I asked for has been returned. I did inform them that an invoice will be sent if they default on my request to have my property back. So they defaulted on that. On the 23rd of September, I wrote them a writ of discovery. So on the 13th, with the judicial notice, just putting them on notice again that, I'm nationalized and I'm not like any longer on their system.
You can't. I don't know anything about Canadian law. I'm gonna tell you that straight up. But you can't simply just write a writ of discovery unless you've already filed something in court. And she talks about how she is, but I don't know if she actually did. And yeah, and it would be something that you would file with the court to ask for discovery, and not I don't know if you would go and ask them directly for it. I don't know.
Your name. They defaulted on that, but the provincial courts.
But yeah, it is interesting that she's still utilizing the court system of the country that she's absolved herself from.
Responded.
What's up, Aaron?
With quashing the tickets.
Damn
and
it.
Actually addressing anything else. On the 23rd of September, I wrote to Winnipeg Police Services again, specifically Danny Smith. This is a writ of discovery requesting them to produce to me the contract that I, as an indigenous individual, wrote with them to be violated if I ever don't uphold my end of the bargain, so to speak, to where I am commanded to pay off any balance.
All right, I disabled the
again, has not responded to this
excess caps and links
it's the
in with Nightbot, so hopefully that'll fix those things from now on.
I did inform them that if I don't.
No,
hear
you
them
should be fine now.
I did give them 15 days to respond, otherwise that they would default.
That's also not how it works. That is also a typical sovereign citizen tactic of this sort of unilateral demands of, produce X, respond to Y, if you do not comply with action Z, you will be held in default judgment. Even though we never filed anything in the first place, but yeah, that's not how things work. That's not how anything works. Good luck having that recognized by anybody.
Basically, once again, they're in dishonor. They did not respond.
They're not under any obligation to.
So, long story short, I wrote them a writ of default.
James, it comes from them abusing a part of the civil action process, where when there has been an action filed, right, and during the actual process, if in the pleadings portion, if you don't when somebody makes claims or makes an affidavit, the responding party has to respond to the pleadings. But if they omit or forget to respond to one aspect of the pleading, then it could be construed as true. But the thing is, it says could be. The judge is not bound to accept as true, at least in that instance, that everything that the person said is true, simply because the responding party either omitted a response or declined to respond to that specific part of the pleading. It'll work against them, sure. But my understanding, it's been a long time since I've done civil practice, but my understanding is that it's not binding on the judge.
For both of those writs that I wrote out to them. So again, because I didn't hear from anybody and all the courts that are involved, again, I wrote to Danny Smith on the 27th.
I remember when I was when I took my
provincial courts as well.
federal Civ Pro class in federal practice. It was always very important to make sure that you responded to the pleadings, responded to every line in the pleadings, or ensure that you cover everything, or else the judge can construe it as true.
That I'm attaching invoice for my time as well as my property that was confiscated. I did also put on notice the Lieutenant Governor of Manitoba, which is Janice Philman. This is, I guess, the cover letter to a copy of this correspondence that I sent to all of them. I also sent one to the Chief Judge of Provincial Court, Margaret I. Weeb.
Weeb? Okay, so yeah, Twickball. Oh, Twickball. So yeah, the thing is that another reason why the U.S. calls sovereign citizens paper terrorists is because of this. For the action of a one traffic stop, she is now going through a litany of paperwork that she has created and sent to just about every public office in the province of Manitoba at this point. And multiply that by 50, 100 people, and then you have municipalities, counties, and courts that are inundated with paperwork by sovereign citizens, on top of the false liens that they file against the cops, the prosecutors, the judge, the city officials.
And last but not least, to Cliff Collin, who is acting as the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of Manitoba, all on the 27th. So this is a video to put everybody else on notice, not just them, worldwide, that this is what's happening and this is what we have to deal with. Even when the Pope has already put out an edict regarding, Block Codes of 1724 being laid to rest and that we're no longer slaves, these individuals are still out here continuing the inquest against all the indigenous people of the Americas. So this is me standing up.
Yeah, never mind the regular caseload of a typical court case or
it's also to
a criminal matter.
And the video surveillance, so that these people
I see it all the time in my alerts in Lexus.
Time. So once again, this is Fatina L from Winnipeg Republic, Manitoba Republic, sorry. You all have a wonderful day. Salam, shalom, peace and love.
Okay. Well, that was stressful. There was That's and you know more than one person has already pointed that out. It's just like, you know, if they put Westlaw greater than Lexus, I actually preferred Westlaw in my 3 years alpha over Lexus, but here in New Jersey we all use Lexus, so there we go. There was another one that I saw that I wanted to post. And no, we're not going to... I swear to God, doesn't matter. I don't care how inebriated I get tonight. I am not watching anything from Gale. Period. Lexus and Westlaw is are like the two like big legal online legal resource libraries in the United States. I think Bloomberg actually has introduced his own that's kind of getting up there, but those are the two head honchos. So in other words, they're like the repository for federal court cases, important state level court cases at the appellate, mostly at the appellate level, but it's also at the superior court level. Even some UK law, some international law, but that they're like the repositories for US case law. No, I don't use Black's Law Dictionary 2nd edition, John. The edition I used when I was at law school was the 8th edition, pocket edition, because I was not about to pay like $300 fucking for the full hardback edition. Hell no. I think Black's Law is either on either 11 or 12. I know, John, but I was just giving my back history. I like talking about my history myself. You know, I'm an egomaniac. I wouldn't have 2 YouTube channels if I wasn't.
You Mr. Jones?
That's correct, sir.
Right,
that's
okay,
correct.
Mr. Jones. Who's the owner of the vehicle?
It's on trade, sir. It's on
Sorry?
trade. It's on trade.
Do you have some?
I have fully comprehensive. You can check that out. You can check my name out. I've got a vehicle. Would you like me to give you the registration number with fully comprehensive? I'm fully legit, sir. I'm not gonna waste your time.
Do you have some paperwork then to prove that it's in trade?
No. This
Do
is
you have your insurance policy then?
No,
with you?
I have my insurance policy. Yes. You want to check out my vehicle number?
I
VX.
can't hear you. Try
Okay.
the other window.
Probably safer for the cop too. But this is the UK,
X.
and the UK has to do things
I'm very
different.
scared of how you treat black people in this day and age, sir. That's the absolute truth. Would you like me to express any more on it, or are you just happy to leave it there?
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
The police brutality is so extreme right now, and that's from my heart to you. I'm feared for my life right now. I'm on my own, so you know I have to document these things. Sir, I'm fully legit. Please run your checks, and you'll find out I'm fully legit, sir.
The vehicle
Yes.
isn't registered to you.
It is.
The
It's
vehicle
registered Ben
registered to somebody
Jones.
else.
Ben
Are you
Jones.
going to let me finish speaking?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Who's the
Are you
vehicle?
going to let me speak?
Yes, sir.
Right.
I
The
don't.
vehicle isn't registered to you.
It's
It's
in-
registered to somebody else, and there's a couple of matters that I need to talk to you about with
No
this
problem,
vehicle
no problem,
in
sir.
relation to
No
the
problem.
smoking of the brake lights, the cracked windscreen, and I just want to
Okay,
confirm, A, that you're
okay.
insured,
Yes.
B, that you should have the vehicle. Okay, if we
Most-
can sort all of that out, that'd be fantastic.
This
So-
wouldn't happen if it was another gentleman.
can't
But
really hear you.
all right, what would you like to know? What am I insured on? I'm with Co-op Insurance, sir. Fully comprehensive Co-op Insurance.
Right, okay.
Okay. There you go. That's all you need to know.
Co-op insurance? I think I've heard of that insurance before.
You've already wasted 45 minutes.
I think it was a thing in Texas.
It does match up. It does.
I remember hearing ads about that kind of thing in Texas, maybe. Maybe that's something similar.
On my face. All right, I've been stopped so many times. Please, don't. You're insulting me. Yeah, why do you think I've got to be so legit? Because I'm living in a system like this. Why do you think I have to be every dot the I and cross the T? Because I know the color of my skin and I can't take the risk. You understand? I'm a law-abiding citizen. All right, so you'll find that out right now.
I'm
All
not
right.
disputing it. I'm just making sure that everything matches up. Because on the checks that we've done on this registration, your name wasn't insured as a named driver.
All right, but you'll find out.
But you reckon under this one, and
I'm fully comprehensive.
Co-op.
Oh, co-op is a company in England. Okay.
That's correct.
Okay,
That's correct.
that's all right, no worries. Come back.
So the cops are saying there's
Your vehicle.
No.
an issue with the name on the that's coming back to them and what's on the registration. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Good thinking. Oi, we fought a war to get away from swearing fealty to the Queen. King.
Or is the current address the one that's on your driving licence?
Please stop asking me your questions.
hear you say again.
Do I have insurance? That's what counts.
No.
Do I have? I'm asking you a question now. Do I have insurance?
There is an insurance in policy.
Am I fully comprehensive? All right. Stop asking your questions. Stop trying to find any loophole to get at me. All right. Mine now. I plead the fifth. Now let me go. That's all I'm saying. I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. I'm not gonna be talking.
He plead the fifth in the UK. I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. How long? No, I don't think the UK has the Fifth Amendment.
Oh, what? Go on.
Things you need to be aware of.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
I'm reporting you for 2 offences at the moment.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. What are they?
Excessive smoke.
Excessive smoke.
And the other one is failing to maintain lamp.
Okay, that's fine. That's
Okay,
fine.
they're the 2 offences
Thank
you're
you.
being
Thank you.
reported
Thank
for.
you. Thank you very
Because
much,
I'm
officer.
reporting you
Thank you
for
very
those
much, officer.
offences.
I plead the fifth of vodka.
Address to which I can send the summons to.
Yeah. Thank you very much,
So is
officer.
it to the one the Audi's registered
Thank you very
to?
much, officer. You do
Sorry?
your job. You do your job.
No,
You
I'm
do your
asking you
job.
just to tell me
You
which
do
one
your
you
job.
want.
You do your job.
Which one is the address
You
to which you
do
live at?
your job. You do your
Which
job.
one is the address to which
You
you live
do
at?
your job. I plead the fifth.
Which one is the address
I
to
plead the
which the
fifth.
summons
I
can be
plead the
serviced?
fifth. I plead the fifth.
I
I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
Like, even if we were in the United States, he's not under arrest, so the fifth isn't even here. It isn't even on top of it, but not, at least he's detained, not under arrest.
Fifth.
Plead the fifth what?
Yeah, I plead the fifth. I don't know what you're
Plead the
talking
fifth.
about.
What was
I
plead
plead
the
the
fifth
fifth.
mean?
I plead the fifth. That's what.
Yeah, even the cop's like, what does plead the fifth mean? You hear that? The cop's like, what?
I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. I pleed the fifth.
Plead the fifth what?
Yeah, I plead the fifth. I don't know what you're
Plead the
talking
fifth.
about.
What was
I
plead
plead
the
the
fifth
fifth.
mean?
I plead.
What does plead the fifth mean?
That's what I'm saying. I plead the fifth.
Anyway, you're being reported for
Yeah,
those 2
fantastic,
offences.
fantastic, yeah.
Do you want to say anything?
Fantastic.
'Cause you don't have to say
Fantastic.
anything, but it may not be
Unlawful
offence.
again,
You do not
unlawful
mention
again.
when questioned something which you later on in court. Anything you do so may be giving in evidence. Do you want to say anything?
Can I go?
Now I think with what he just said there, I think now that was the UK's version of Miranda. So now he may actually be under
Now,
arrest.
please.
Sorry?
This is unlawful and racism
no,
again.
it's not.
Racism
I'm
again. All right, extreme racism. Can I have your number, please?
I think he just invoked the UK's version of Miranda.
Extreme racism again. Extreme racism. That's all it is. Extreme racism. Oh, hurry up, man. Hurry up. Them man there trying to do me for a lamp, a light bulb, and...
Jeff Brown says England has the same law, I guess, against I suppose it means against self-incrimination, but its name is so drawn out that, quote, plead the fifth, end quote, is used a slang term for not incriminating yourself. Well, what do you know? It seems the Brits were able to borrow some things from the Yanks after all. I mean, from what between the guys, yelling at the cops, my understanding was that they said that the name coming back to whoever was registered to the car wasn't his name that he gave to them, and they were trying to clear that up from you, or clear that up with him. There was also an issue with insurance, but the guy was just not providing information enough for them to confirm that. Again, I couldn't really gather what precisely was going on between them other than that, because the guy kept on interrupting the cop or talking over the cop. Moving on. Oh, God damn it, Gary. Oh, I bet that I've already seen that one. Besides, we're not doing Karens tonight, so. No Karens this evening. Who's got recommendations while I'm thinking of something else? Because I thought that there was something else I hadn't seen today, but I can't remember where it was. Oh, I think Schrodinger had something in here that I haven't seen with you guys yet. So shout out to Schrodinger's cat. I know a lot of you guys came out from him. You met a nice woman named Karen today. Aw. You know, I do actually feel bad for the women who are named Karen, who are getting a bad rap because of, you know. This one. This is the one.
Also, I woke up this morning. Now let's watch some stupid. Today we'll be taking another look at Christopher Throgmorton. He's a sovereign citizen who has a very high opinion of himself, and he thinks he's really tough. Well, that is until the silver bracelet.
Of course you have, Sean.
Also, thanks to a
You're all up in that
ECS,
try-hard
who sent me this
multiplayer Warzone
You guys
game.
ain't got no reason to put your hands on me.
No one's touched you today, sir.
Not today, but several other times. That's what I'm trying to file a complaint
This
about.
officer, myself, and Assistant Chief Smith.
It's funny though,
Not
because
touch
every
you.
time I don't have the video camera, that's when you guys touch me. Every time I have the video camera, you guys are real assuring that you've done nothing wrong.
Well, that's about to be not true, because he has a camera, and I assure you, they're going to touch him.
It's illegal to touch me. It's called battery.
Depends.
No, it's not. It's if you touch somebody, it's battery.
No.
Yeah, it's
It
called.
depends.
No, it doesn't depend on route, insulin, or manner, none of that shit.
Yes,
It's
it
called
does.
Shaw v. State.
Okay, the thing is that the reason why we can and should hold police to the highest standard is because we as a society allow them, give them the most awesome power that a democratic state can give, and that is the power to put their hands on you and it not be considered battery. They have the power to put you in handcuffs without your consent, put you in a car, and put you behind a jail cell, stripping you of your freedom. We've given them that power as a democratic state, and it not be considered battery because that is part of their duties. And the reason why we should hold police, to the highest standard. But that's a discussion for another day. But no, it's not battery when they are touching you or taking you physically by force when it's within the scope of their duties.
That's the
If you're
case
breaking
law.
the law and you're a place of arrest and you refuse to
All right.
comply, then you may be touched.
Well, touch me and find out if it's against the law then.
They will. Keep watching.
I will defend myself. If you need to put your hands on me and batter me, then I will need to defend myself.
Exactly.
Remember that he said that. He talks a big game. Let's see if he follows through.
Because I'm a felon. Could you please identify
Froggy
yourself?
uses SovCit terms, but he's
Are
not
you
a
public
Savi.
servant?
What, is he just nuts?
Okay. What's your name? Okay. I'll just make sure I get a good enough view. You got a name badge or something? Nothing? Nope.
Your time is up here. If you want to,
I knocked on the door. Nobody answered.
So they're not here. You need.
Well, they're supposed
you
to be
need
here.
leave.
Please don't touch me.
I'm
If
not
you touch
touching
me,
you.
I will defend myself under Indiana law. I understand you're a public servant.
You need to go.
Up to and including fatal force.
Did y'all hear that? He said he will defend himself using up to fatal force. This is going to be really embarrassing for him.
Refusing to leave.
I'm knocking on the door, waiting for a response.
And there is nobody coming to the door.
Well, that's not your
And you know
job to
what?
determine.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Because when we knock on the door, no one answers. We leave.
That's fine. You're held to a different standard than I am.
To go.
And for those who are without context, I believe this guy is a frequent flyer with this municipality.
I don't need
So they many of them know him on a first name basis. So
to go. I need to knock on that door again.
To leave again.
Am I refusing to leave? Is that what you're saying? Are you intimidating me?
No, I'm asking.
What's the law? What's the law?
Are you refusing
What law
to
are you telling me that I'm breaking?
To leave?
I don't know. I'm not sure what the law is that you're accusing me of breaking.
I'm asking
Tell
you
me
if
the
you're
law that
refusing
I'm
to
accused of
leave.
breaking. I'm not refusing to leave.
Yes, you are.
But I'm refusing to follow your unlawful orders.
Now the boss lady shows up. This is the lady that made him cry in the last video I made about him.
Mr. Throgmorton, you need to go.
I'm trying to file a complaint with the Human Rights Commission. I don't know.
Issue a trespass warning for this property. You're not to be here unless you're here for public meetings only.
I'm here for a public meeting. What is your name?
You already know my
Can you
name.
identify yourself?
I'm not going to
Public
play that game
servant?
with you again.
It's not a game. It's called the
You're not
law.
gonna
That's
run the
what's
show
fucking
here.
y'all up is you keep thinking it's a game.
I'm being very serious with you.
I'm just here trying to file a complaint, which I'm
I
legally
understand
allowed
what you're
to
here to do.
I'm here to commit a legal act, and I've been intimidated since
I'm
I've been trying to
advising
do it.
you.
I don't care what you're advising me. I'm advising
Make sure you get this on your recording.
Okay.
I am advising you that you are not to be on City Hall property unless you are attending a public meeting. If you return to the property,
What is the law you're telling me?
I'm telling you that the agent of this property is giving me the authority that if you come back here, with the
Who's
exception
the
of a
agent
public
of
meeting,
this?
I'm not revealing that to you. That's my
It's
my
the public.
concern.
All right. Well then,
That's my concern, not for your
I
concern.
mean, you can keep trying to
I have to
circumvent
stand
the law.
behind
I'm
the
not
law.
stupid. I know you're on bullshit.
Are
so
you
I don't really
refusing
care.
to-
yeah, Schrodinger had already done a video previously with this guy. It involved Officer Smith.
Leave the property?
I'm trying to make contact
Are
with
you
a public
refusing to
servant.
leave the
They've been
property?
preventing it.
Yeah,
Nobody's
I'm warning you.
refused.
Give him a path.
Nobody's
If you refuse to leave,
refused.
Then you will be arrested for trespassing.
You're going to
Like
arrest
this
me
is-
for trespassing. For
You were
what?
just
Yes,
told.
I am.
If
And
you
what is that?
refuse to leave the property, you will be arrested for trespass. 'cause
And
you were
this
just
is
told to leave.
trespassing.
For someone who claims to be a genius, he's really having trouble understanding what they're telling him.
You better get going, or else we're not
What
going
are
to
you
stand
going to do?
here.
You're going to what?
Arrest you for trespass.
It's not your right to follow me, man.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. It's called.
Yes, it is. I know my rights.
You're still on
Just
the
like you
property,
know
sir.
yours.
I know my
You're
rights.
still on the
You have to
property,
cite
sir.
your
Yeah, and
rights
it's public.
out.
Did you
property.
see him?
Keep on going.
I'm
Whoa,
not.
watch out.
Pretty sure the police are within their means to escort you off the property if you're not supposed to be there.
File a complaint on that. That just
See,
touched
no.
you.
See,
That's
now,
city
if y'all
property,
wouldn't have been
it touched
pushing me out the fucking door, that wouldn't have happened, you dumb shit.
Still on city property.
It's all right. Yeah, I'm on city property. So who is this person you're talking about that kicked me off? How did I get kicked
The
off
city
of
is
city
kicking you off.
property?
The
You want to
city.
raise your voice, you'll go to jail.
Well, she said the agent of the property, which means that, and what she means by that is somebody who has the authorization to say who can and cannot be on the premises. In other words, that's a legal terminology, because you can't have like some random janitor or a random secretary or undersecretary who's saying get off the property, because they're not an agent of the building, of the premises. But if you had somebody who, say, the mayor or a city council person or the manager of the building itself, they could be qualified as an agent, and therefore under the law they do have the authorization to say this person cannot be allowed on city property under these conditions.
Jail for disorderly conduct.
Please keep threatening me with jail.
No. it's not
Lawful
threat.
act. I'm trying to file a
You have been
complaint.
given the warning of disorderly conduct. Raise your voice.
Hold on, I need to see this other car number here for my documentation. Is this a police car? I believe this is
city property.
Yeah, it's all city property, dude. How do you want me to get home? You guys are retarded, man. Huh? Okay. We don't have no identifying number, just a police license plate. Mr. Reed, Mr. Sliwa. I'll see you gentlemen later.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Don't get citizens arrested.
Walk in the road or else you could be...
Well.
What Nathan, what they would be saying is they would have an agent who is acting on behalf of the city.
I don't know what the fuck to do then, because you won't let me walk on the sidewalk and you won't let me walk on the road and you keep threatening me. So how about this? I don't know where the fuck to walk at, so why don't you keep fucking, why don't you just make do anything? I don't know how to get home. I'm freaking out. I need disability accommodation. I need disability accommodation. I'm not yelling. I need accommodation for my disability. I don't know where the fuck to go. You guys keep running me all around. This motherfucker telling me I can't. No, you just told me I can't walk on the road. You just told me I can't walk on the road. So now,
crosswalk.
No. You just said that's public property. It's all city property. So how the fuck do I get home, smart guy? How do I get home? Now how do I get home? Since your dumb ass told me it's all city property on video, now how do I get home?
You got a choice, sir.
No, I don't have a choice. You just eliminated all my choices. You just told me everything's city property, so I don't
Oh my god, I'm getting a headache watching this.
know how the fuck to get home
Get out
now.
of the road.
No, you just told me that to get out of the road, and I can't walk on the sidewalk, so how do I get home? You gonna give me a ride?
Yeah, so that's
Then how do I get home? How do I
sounds
get
about
home?
right.
Hey, excuse me, hey!
And now he's yelling again after they told him to say, stop yelling or else you're going to go in for disorderly conduct.
Hey! Please, help! I don't want to die! I don't want to die! I haven't done anything wrong, I don't want to die! Hey, I'm disabled! Please, I'm disabled!
So the guy that just told us that he was going to defend himself with fatal force is now disabled and helpless.
Please! I swear to God! Please! Look! I'm fucking disabled! I'm not resisting! I'm not resisting!
Let go of my radio.
He's trying to take my camera!
Okay.
Give me your hand! Give me your hand!
And now I'm already going to get another.
Help! 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 Help!
Give me your hand.
Help!
Put your hand behind your back.
Help!
Hey Chris, where's your self-defense? Are you planning on screaming them to death?
Help! Help! Help!
Give me your hand.
Help! 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 I can't breathe! I can't breathe!
The term I can't breathe should be on every sovereign citizen bingo card.
Those of you wondering, the beer of choice is
my camera! I authorize
Ship
you to take
Bottom.
my private property, please!
My
I'm
camera's
disabled!
reversed.
I didn't
Ship
do
Bottom
anything.
Barnegat Lager. It's a German lager. Ship Bottom
I didn't do anything! I didn't do
is a
I'm
local
not
brewery
resisting! I'm not resisting! Help!
in New Jersey
Help!
/ Pennsylvania.
I don't have any weapons. I don't have anything. Can't do this! Help! Help! Get my camera! It's all on video, please! Please! Help! They're gonna fucking kill me! I'm trying to sue! They're gonna fucking kill me! Help! Help! I'm disabled! I'm autistic! Help! I'm fucking autistic! Help! Help! Fucking laughing at me, bitch! Fuck you! Help! 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 I'm fucking autistic! Help! 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 I'm not being combative! I'm screaming for fucking help!
If you can calm down and quiet yourself.
Help! No! Fuck off of me!
Quit fighting.
Help!
I think I figured it out. His self-defense tactic is to drown them in tears. He should write a book. He could title it Asymmetric Warfare Tactics by Christopher Throgmorton.
Get your fucking hands off me!
Hello,
fucking
Alpha.
calm down, you fucking savage!
I really hope he didn't try to spit on the cop with that. I don't think he did, or else I think the cop would have said something.
I was trying to file fucking complaint! Fucking psychos!
Okay.
I'm fucking autistic! Please watch! Videotape it! Don't give a fuck! They might kill me! Who cares? Don't fucking help! Don't help me, please! They're gonna fucking kill me! Help! Help! I'm fucking autistic! They're gonna kill me! Walk. I'm fucking pulling on me! He's fucking pulling! Walk! I can't walk if you're fucking pulling! Walk!
Sit down.
Hobble and see if you
Get in the car.
I'm trying!
Sit down.
Trying!
Put your feet in.
I am, let go of me,
Put
you
your feet
fucking
in.
moron! How the fuck
Yes,
do you
sir.
think
Thank
body
you for
mechanics
calling me
work?
names.
Can't fucking
Thank you
get
for
in
calling me
here.
names again.
Fucking
You have the right.
I'm gonna end your fucking careers, every one of you.
Good.
Fucking careers over.
Good luck.
Good luck, nothing, motherfucker. You know how many people knew I was coming down here?
Whose car is this?
You know how many fucking people knew about this shit? You guys are so fucked. Give me my paperwork. That's my personal paperwork.
This is your paperwork. I'm going to read it aloud to you.
Oh.
Dated today, Christopher Throgmorton.
You can't do this.
Please be on notice.
You can't do this. I'm not being...
And here is the notice that the cop, you said she was a colonel. I couldn't tell with her badge. That she's going to read to him that they sent to him, and probably was the reason why he went up there to flip out in the first place. But here's what she said.
Interactions at City Hall.
I'm disabled. You cannot use this. No, I'm not.
With you when you visit, you are no longer welcome at City Hall unless it's for a scheduled public meeting.
Assistant Chief. Okay. Oh, I want to try. Hold on. Let me try to page it. I'm trying to isolate her audio versus the guy screaming. Hold on.
That's my personal paperwork.
This is your paperwork. I'm going to read it aloud to you. Dated today, Christopher Throgmorton.
You can't do this.
Please be on notice.
You can't do this. I'm not being combative. This is against...
at City Hall.
I'm disabled. You cannot use this. No, I'm not.
With you when you visit, you are no longer welcome at City Hall unless it's for a scheduled public meeting. You are hereby notified that you are on the trespass list.
I'll ruin your fucking
If you violate such notice, you will risk being arrested.
Fuck you.
That's going to go with
Basically, okay, due to his previous actions, which Schrodinger already uploaded with his previous, and you can see what the hell happened there, you are only allowed to be on city property during public meetings only, and you are now on a trespass list, which I never heard of, but I'm also not surprised. I'm also not surprised that many municipalities has trespass lists. And then he said, coming here, runs you the risk of being arrested when it's not during a public meeting. Yeah.
Served with a trespassing notice.
You are right now, baby. And I warned you up there.
She said it was dated today, and it was on his person. And now he says he never got the notice?
That's going to go
I was never served with a trespassing notice.
You said that it was the paperwork that she was reading off of. You said that it was yours. So how can you say you never got the notice? And it was dated today, that day.
You are right now, baby.
You are right now, baby.
I warned you up there.
I love her.
I gave you a verbal warning several times, and now it's in writing.
It's going.
You come back, you're going to be rearrested.
What is this? Am I being arrested now?
Yeah, absolutely. And you come back again, you're going to get arrested again.
What am I being arrested
and again
for?
after that, and again after that, and again after that.
For?
Trespass and disorderly conduct right now.
Trespass?
This
Yep.
goes in his personal property.
That makes sense, Gary.
His phone and his glasses are right there.
It's a fucking camera. It's not a phone.
Listen to what this cop says here. This is hilarious.
Sir, call me names again, sir.
I don't need to.
That's all you've been doing. Thank you. Whatever, sir.
I don't need to call
Guess
you.
who's going to jail?
Well, if that wasn't fun, then I don't know what fun is. Again, thanks to all my channel members, subscribers, and everybody watching. If you didn't see my debate Friday night, please check it out.
Going to jail now. Oh, yeah. By the way, happy Veterans Day. And happy early Veterans Day, mind you. Veterans Day is tomorrow. And, for the non-U.S. folks in my chat, happy Remembrance Day. Because I believe 11/11 is the anniversary of the armistice, World War I. But the U.S., decided to make that Veterans Day as well. So, appropriate, in my opinion. Yeah. Doing the WebEx arraignment? Jim Rhodes, I don't think so, Jim. Send it to me again if you can. Happy birthday to the USMC. I wouldn't know because my my parents are both former USAF veterans. Diverse video on constitutional auditors. Oh, audit. Is the first video? I see this one. Or the most recent. Ah.
Oh, he's okay. Okay, that's cool.
Well, happy early birthday, Liz.
Get your ass to Mars. Get your ass to Mars.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, what are we what's going on here? He's doing an arraignment on his truck over the phone. It's your birthday and you're hung. Wait, Deacon, your birthday's tomorrow? Is your birthday on Veterans Day? Oh, well, hey, happy birthday, Deacon. You should have taken off tomorrow. Well, that's the thing with me. It's tomorrow's a state holiday, so. Oh, the day after. Hang on, let me try and increase the volume. It's pretty low, even for me.
Oh, I'm sending it, I think. Oh, there we go. Hello.
Emmys was yesterday? Shit. Now I feel like an asshole. Wait, what the hell happened? Oh, they paused it. What you do?
I'm sitting in a parking lot, in a private parking lot. I paid
I'm sorry to hear that,
here. I'm not going anywhere. I have no. I'm prepared for this. I've been sitting here since 10:30. I don't even know what that means. I have no idea what that means. How do I intend? I don't understand that. The nature and cause. I don't understand the nature of the cause of what we're doing here.
I don't have nature and cause.
That would be. You can't do that. Is that a judgment? Are you making a legal judgment that I'm not guilty? Because if you enter that plea.
Okay, this is a classic sovereign citizen thing where the judge is saying, if you're not going to plea in court, I'm going to enter a not guilty plea. And that's where the sovereign citizens, as part of the script, they think entering a not guilty plea means that they're either practicing law from the bench or they are acting on their behalf or making a legal determination that he's not guilty of the crime, which that's not how that works. No.
Then that's what
I mean, Alpha, yes, that's the default. It's a bedrock. It's a bedrock. This isn't the officer, it's the judge. It's a bedrock aspect of our legal system that innocent until proven guilty. So if you are not going to make a plea, or if you're incapable of making a plea, the court is going to enter a not guilty plea.
You're saying.
No, you're probably guilty, but put him in a...
Oh, okay. I'm glad you just announced your bias. Like, are you kidding me? Oh, okay. Please,
wait,
then.
Hold on, wait.
Cause of
Did I just hear the judge say that? Please tell me I didn't hear the judge say that.
what we're doing here.
I'm going to enter a not guilty plea on your behalf for
That would you can't do that. Is that a judgment? Are you making a legal judgment that I'm not guilty? Because if you enter that plea, then that's what you're saying.
No, you're probably guilty, but I'm gonna.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you just did.
And he just fucked up. And he just fucked up.
Announce your bias.
He fucked up bad.
Are you kidding me?
What I'm telling you is that that's a probability based on years of experience. So do you want to set this for a jury trial or a trial to the court?
I don't want to set anything. I don't want to. The court has a claim in front of it, which should be heard first, and I've entered it. I entered it in the federal court, and it's been remanded to you.
There's no basis for the claims. Claims are denied. So what we'll do.
There's no basis. Then there's no basis to your complaint, and it's denied.
So we're gonna set this for.
Oh no. I don't agree. I do not consent. I'm not entering anything. And if you enter it, then it's a not guilty plea.
For a pre-trial conference, I'll see you back in person on December 3rd at 8 o'clock, 8:30.
Well, we'll get the complaint into the judicial review board and see what happens.
I sure as shit would. Oh my god. Oh my god, this guy is a fucking idiot. No, I'm sorry. It does. Alpha, no. Judge, no. Judge cannot say that. Absolutely cannot say that. That is, oh my god, that's fucking stupid.
I know you're not. Because you guys are untouchable is what you think.
If he's the presiding judge, he's so fucked up.
Oh no. I don't agree to any of this. You entered that plea on your own. You have acted as my lawyer. Okay, whatever you say.
The arraignment doesn't have to be. Well, it depends on the jurisdiction. It depends, as Alpha said at Spot, it depends on the jurisdiction. It could be a magistrate, but with the way this guy is sounding, he sounds like he's a judge because he's already talked about how they're coming back for another hearing. He sounds like he's the presiding judge.
That's not the way I'm going to do it. I don't consent. I'm not going to be showing up to anything anymore. And you've been recorded, fuckface. Fuck you! Fuck you!
Oh, James got bingo? Congrats, James. Oh, so is he waving his middle finger to the Skype call?
Huh! You're not a judge. You're not real. This is all bullshit. I don't believe anything that's going on here.
Yes. Even if they don't have the same powers, I imagine they are subject to the same ethical standards. Well, yes, it's plain and open contempt, but the judge fucked himself by trying to say, like, oh, you're probably guilty. Especially if he is the presiding judge. Like, that is an appealable error. Like, that is absolute grounds for recusal. Period. Oh my god. What the hell is wrong with him? Oh my god, that gave me a headache. That actually gave me a headache. I need a palate cleanser after that insanity. I mean, I could do a new card. I'm not going back to Gale. Stop telling me to go back to Gale. Oh my god. Well, he should have, Jim. He should have. But James, hit me up on Discord, private message, if I hadn't already told you. We're doing one more card, and then we're gonna call it a day. The judge was already salty due to his previous antics. Even still, though, even without that context, it's still not good, especially if he's in the middle of arraignement, and he ends up saying that in the middle of arraignment. Again, assuming that he is the presiding judge of his case, he is fucked. Even if the defendant was being an ass clown. You know what? I know the perfect group of videos.
Okay, this is the matters of State of New Jersey versus Emir Colonel Chauncey L., also known as Cornell Hall, also known as Cornell Dixon.
This is my neck of the woods.
No. We're not going down that road. We're not going down that road. Everybody else sit down. Have a seat. Have a seat. That's 0807727I.
And by neck of the roads, I believe this is Burlington County, which is my county.
0804441I. Mr. Luciano, would you note your appearance for the record?
Luciano.
All right, last time we were in court, the court made a ruling. Mr. Keeson, would you note your appearance, please? All right, court made a ruling, in essence,
no worries,
allowing
Deacon.
Mr. L.
Now we're back to New Jersey.
Himself, in these matters.
All right, no worries.
Subsequent to that, the court has received 2 other filings from Mr. L. Sir, you are?
Sir, I am Alfred Sahel from the Aboriginal Law Firm.
Are you?
No, you haven't missed it yet. I'm still on my second beer, Deacon. I'm going to need a little bit more, but I'll work on it. All right, I'll work on it.
I am not.
Well, on the other side, sir.
He's
sir,
not a lawyer.
On the other side
so
of the red.
Get the fudge out. Aboriginal law firm. Get the fudge out.
Subsequent to that ruling, the court has received, I believe, 2 other filings.
I've been called to jury duty once, and I was able to get dismissed because I actually legit had a prior engagement. As a matter of fact, it was to go to PAX East in Boston, Massachusetts, because I'm a nerd. If you guys haven't realized that by now, and I'm a video game nerd.
One of those filings, he's raising a jurisdictional issue. So the court, upon further reflection, given the nature
Shut up, Alpha.
and complexity of the issues that have been raised by Mr. L., the court is rescinding its previous ruling and will make a determination that until a licensed practitioner in the state of New Jersey is
he didn't say jurisdictional issue
for Mr. L. The court will enter an order that Mr. Kiesler will remain as counsel.
Objection. For the record.
It's overruled.
Objection. For the record.
What's up, Clifford?
Not authorized.
I am a nerd.
Public defense.
I'm a video game nerd because that's what I do more often than not.
Okay.
I play my video games.
Very well.
And I am also a weeb trash.
I got it. Until there is a
I have
licensed
waifu ranking
practitioner in the state of New Jersey.
Objection. The practice of law cannot be licensed by any state, and that's according to Schwar versus Board of the Examiner.
Oh, he already has this one wrong. Schwer versus Board of Bar Examiners of the State of New Mexico only dealt with the arbitrary denial of a bar license to somebody who was a member of the Communist Party. The court held that the state could not refuse a bar license to somebody who solely on the basis of their political affiliation. It did not say that the states could not regulate the practice of law. So, typical sovereign citizen taking, a court case out of context.
353 U.S. 238-239.
Objections overruled. Until
What's up, Desert Sentinel?
there is an attorney, a licensed practitioner here to represent Mr. L, court is recognizing Mr. Keesler as the attorney of record.
Objection. For the record, on the record, and let the record show, the rule of professional conduct states,
For the record,
RPC
on the record,
1.0,
and let the record show.
a law firm denotes a lawyer or lawyers in a law partnership, professional corporation.
I'm pretty sure, Reich, dude, it's Keesler, not Keester, Keesler.
Or lawyers employed in a legal services organization or the legal department of a corporation or other organization. http www.judiciarystate.nj.us/rules.
Until an attorney authorized to practice law is representing you, Mr. L, the Public Defender's Office, Mr. Keesler, will represent you.
Objection. For the record, the corporate body politic that has authorized the Aboriginal Law Firm's Secretary of State authorization number is 003.
Okay, the fact that you registered your law firm with the Secretary of State's office does not mean you're actually a law firm and are able to engage, and yet your employees are able to engage in the practice of law. Period. Just because you have some sort of validation from the Secretary of State.
The fact that you listen to me, listen to me. That's it. That's it. I'm tired of this now. If you come in here again with this mess, and I'm going to call it mess on the record, you're going to be arrested. We're done. This matter will be continued to November 10th. If there's a substitution of attorney from somebody licensed, the fact that the Aboriginal law firm may have some standing with the Secretary of State is not the issue in this case. It's a question of whether, in fact, the law firm has an attorney licensed to practice in the state of New Jersey.
Yeah, exactly.
The matter is continued to November 10th, 2008 at 9 o'clock. Thank you.
Objection.
I'm done. I'm done.
Now, put this on the record.
And for the record, the judge recused himself after this, which, I mean, is appropriate. I mean, anybody who could see the record here would say the judge ought to have recused himself. But I appreciate his I'm sick of your bullshit. But in fairness, he should have and did recuse himself after this.
Please.
Not that I'm saying I don't like the next judge who takes over the case, mind you.
On the record, I'm done.
For the record, on the record, and let the record show, I have filed a writ of coronam juris, a demand for termination or state the proper jurisdiction to all matters concerning the items of subject.
No, I appreciate his candor.
I already placed that on the record.
I don't think she was a wimp. I think she did a good job of trolling them at the end.
For the record, I give honors to Judge Smith. Thank you.
I think the judge in the next case, did a good job of trolling them when it was appropriate, but also killing them with kindness. Because again, it's all about preserving the record, right? It's all about ensuring that, they have nothing to stand on. All right, the first chunk of this is involving a separate inmate, so I'm going to skip through him.
All right, and now, under indictment 08-04-0441,
Right, no, he was getting ready to say,
we will proceed to the matter of the State of New Jersey versus Cheyenne M. Kushamir L. Morning, sir. Cancel your appearance, please.
It took me a little while to actually curate these guys both. There's two individuals that are involved here. It took me a while to actually curate the various videos into one cohesive timeline. So this is actually in chronological order from this guy's first arraignment to this guy's appearance to both of them appearing in conjunction and going on.
Judge, good morning. Assistant Prosecutor Mike Luciano from the state.
Good morning, Cheyenne. Matilda Cushman L. on behalf of the Aboriginal Law Firm.
Yes, John, she is the replacement judge.
Mr. Cushman, you are not here on behalf of the Aboriginal Law Firm. You are here as yourself.
No, I am not, ma'am. I have authentic documentation concerning my identification. The state of New Jersey cannot have charges against Cheyenne M.K. Ill, considering it doesn't have jurisdiction. I'm not in the state of New Jersey, ma'am. I'm domiciling in North America, and I'm in Timbuktu. That's where we're at right now, ma'am.
Burlington County, New Jersey is Timbuktu. So I'm going to let y'all stew on that one for a bit.
That's the indigenous name. I have.
Yeah, again, Deacon, this is a thing. This is a thing, and it's the thing is in my area of New Jersey, which is like between, which is the Philadelphia area, the outskirts of Philadelphia, Camden, then between Trenton and Camden. There are a lot of Moorish sovereign citizens like this individual here in my area, but they're all over the country, and yes,
have treaty immunities according to the Article 6 of the Constitution.
I'm going to interrupt you for a moment, please. We will talk about all of those substantive issues and procedural issues in a moment.
I know.
You are not here as a representative of the Aboriginal Law Firm. You are here in my courtroom as a named defendant in a criminal indictment.
Cherry Hill represent.
With all due respect, ma'am.
I'm about 40 minutes from 30 minutes from Cherry Hill.
With all due respect, ma'am, I am representing the Aboriginal Law Firm concerning this matter. If I may state for the record, ma'am.
Sir, no, you may not. Listen to me.
Objection.
Sir, your name, please?
Mayor KCL.
First of all, please have a seat. Secondly, I do not allow people to call out from the audience, so please don't do that.
Silent Hill.
Sir, I do not allow people.
Now there is a remaster I would kill for Silent Hill 2, or even 3 for that matter. I would buy that in a heartbeat. A remaster of Silent Hill 2 or 3. Anyway,
to call
I
out
digress.
From the audience,
Shout out to
do not do
Roberts.
that.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, for the record, ma'am.
No, sir.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Do not call out from the audience. Please be seated and please be quiet.
Cool. Yes, we are in New Jersey, by the way, family.
Okay.
Sir,
we are in New Jersey.
Listen to me. Can I have that sheet?
I never played Silent Hill 1. I only played 2, 3 in the room.
You told me that you wanted me to call you Cheyenne.
They water?
Matilda Cushman, yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, you want me to use the full middle name too?
You don't have to, ma'am.
Well, remember I was asking you if I could call you
Yes.
Mr. Cushman-Murrell, and you said no, you wanted me to use your first name?
I said, ma'am. I said, call me Cheyenne Matilda Cushman L. This is what I always say, ma'am.
That's fine. All right. Cheyenne Cushman-Murrell. You are named
I've seen this
in
before,
the
so I'll let
indictment
it play.
as a defendant in a criminal case. I understand your position. Number one, the state of New Jersey does not have jurisdiction over you, could not and should not have named you in the indictment, and you're not subject to the laws of the state of New Jersey and the procedures. I understand that that is what your position is. And at the end of the day, you may actually succeed in that position. Someone may be determined as a matter of fact and as a matter of law that you're correct, and these papers will, and the indictment will be dismissed. But as of now, procedurally, in this courtroom, that is how you stand.
Excuse me, ma'am. Objection, ma'am. The state of New Jersey has documentation of my identification. The original charge, man, was charged to Brandon Casimir for, for possession of CDS exhibiting false document, possession of false document. That warrant, man, was signed by George McCloskey. I served your office.
Name's Gregory.
Gregory McCloskey, man. I served your office with the proper documentation that the oath was not signed or the warrant wasn't signed, man. Therefore, if you can give me a minute to get my papers situated, I can tell you exactly what I'm talking about.
I understand what you're talking about, sir, but this is the...
Remember what I said about paperwork? You see what the hell is displayed on his freaking table?
problem. We are not talking about whether the indictment's going to be dismissed, whether the issuance of the warrant was improper, whether the oath is improper. We're not talking about any of that yet. We will get to that eventually, but we are not talking about that yet. We're talking today about whether you are going to proceed representing yourself or whether you are going to need an attorney to represent you.
Ma'am, I'm not consenting to any of the proceedings. I will not be making any agreement with any attorneys at law, providing I haven't given any of them power of attorney. I'm only here under threat, duress, and coercion because I've been falsely imprisoned under false identification with proper documentation from the state, man. Not from the state, but authenticated by the state, man. I'm here under threat, duress, and coercion. My property was stolen from me, so I cannot represent myself. That's impossible to do, man. I'm here in appropriate personas of juris. I'm here before you. This is not the person or the man that was charged. Brandon Casimir. That's a dissolved entity. Brandon Casimir origins starts in Brooklyn, New York. I have documentation.
Well, it also says, also known as.
I'm not. That is incorrect, man.
And on November 17th, the indictment was amended to reflect your correct name, which you have told me.
That is my identity, then.
Cheyenne, right? Your name, your identity, whatever you want to call it, as Cheyenne M. Cushemere L. My purpose today, and I'm going to repeat this, is to decide whether you are.
It doesn't. Lisa, it doesn't work. He doesn't have a goatee. He has to have a goatee to say it was his evil twin.
Going to continue to appear in this courtroom without the benefit of legal counsel, or are you going to have an attorney? And if I decide that you need to have an attorney, you don't have to agree. You and I probably during the course of the proceedings are going to disagree
South Park,
about a lot of
Deacon.
but that's fine.
Ma'am, that would be.
This is still beer number. Wait, is this beer number 2 or 3? I've lost track. I think this is beer 2 still.
I have a consent to have an attorney, man.
You don't have to consent,
My society, but according to the Constitution, man, I have the right to have counsel.
Which Constitution is that?
The United States Constitution, Article 6, that states that treaties and all the laws of the United States are the supreme law of the land. I have a treaty of peace and friendship via 1787, man.
Well, I would suggest to you.
Man.
Okay. Deacon, for your info, because again, I think you're pretty new to this. What he was referring to is the Treaty of Peace and Friendship between the United States and Morocco of 1787. It was, enacted while the United States was under the Articles of Confederation. It was a treaty for trade, to combat piracy, and other such enactions. These more sovereign citizens treat this, my understanding is that it is technically still an active treaty. The problem is they take this to mean that more sovereign citizens, or these guys who identify themselves as Moors, are not subject to U.S. law, but are instead subject to the auspices of the treaty. But the treaty has no say on how the United States govern the affairs of Moroccans. You're right. They're not Moroccan to begin with. But even assuming that they are, if you're a person from Morocco, you're still subject to the laws of the United States. Even people from Morocco would agree to that, So it's like layers of wrong stacked on top of each other.
I would suggest to you that you also read the cases that talk about your constitutional rights.
I have,
that say that you only.
Well, you're right. They're not Moroccan in the first place.
An attorney when you are able to do so, and that this court has the authority to tell you either to get a lawyer or to appoint an attorney when it believes and finds that you are not able to do that.
Ma'am.
That is the purpose of today's hearing, sir.
Can you cite the case law, ma'am, and is that federal statute or
Moretti
state
versus
statute?
California.
Beretta versus California.
422 U.S. 806, a United States Supreme Court case.
Got him.
Okay. Well, according to Canon 3, ma'am,
Free of what?
Canon 3, I'm gonna get it for you in a second, ma'am.
Okay.
1 second. According to Canon 3.
Canon 3, I believe he's referring to the Code of Judicial Ethics.
It stipulates of the Judicial Code of Conduct. It stipulates the judge should perform the duties of judicial office impartially and diligently.
Okay.
Should record to every person who is legally interested in a proceeding or that person's lawyer. These are
Okay. Yeah, people who are interested in the proceeding can be allowed to be in the gallery. It says nothing about them being allowed to sit next to you as counsel.
These are members of my society who are interested in this legal proceeding, man. And you are obligated.
Why are they standing up?
According to the Code of Judicial Conduct.
They are not Atticus Finch.
To allow them to be able to consult with me about these issues.
If you need an opportunity.
Well, Liz, I have not heard of that one, but I actually have not heard of that one. That's kind of fucking insane, but I'm going to leave it at that.
While this matter is going on, to consult with people, all you need to say is, Judge, I need to take a moment to consult with someone.
Okay, no problem, man.
You have sat in my courtroom on a number of occasions, and I think that you are aware of the fact that I say to people all of the time, you were here when I took place. If you need time to talk to your lawyer, let me know. You can step outside and talk to your lawyer.
Well, my society has power of attorney over my person, man. And
really?
According to Canon 3, as was stated,
I thought Nation of Islam was its own thing, like not even associated with the Moors.
Initiate nor consider
I don't know about that.
Other communications concerning a pending or impending proceeding. So, just to put that on the record, I would like to consult with my counsel for my society, man.
Before proceeding any further?
Before proceeding any further, man.
Certainly, sir. You may step outside. Listen to me. You may step outside into the lobby.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's now, I'll give you 5 minutes.
No problem.
Okay.
Back in, sir.
No problem.
Officer, I don't want those people standing in that front row. I told the man to sit down. Make them sit down. The other thing is, I don't want a phalanx of sheriff's officers across the back door. It is intimidating to me, and I don't want the litigants in my courtroom intimidated like that. So please tell them. Yeah.
I see, and that right there, that's where I have a lot of respect for the judge, because she's according herself correctly. She's saying, I don't want, random ass people, standing up, but I also don't want 5, 6 sheriff's officers standing around like something is about to go down. And I think that she's doing the right thing. And again, this is why I appreciate her, because she is balancing the respect for the dignity of the court and the rights of the litigants, while also saying that this is also my courtroom, and I'm going to, put your feet to the fire, whether you're a sheriff's officer or whether you're an obnoxious litigant.
If the undersheriff wants to talk to me about it, that's fine. This is my courtroom.
Again, people don't realize the level of discretion that judges have for the operation of their courtrooms. It's pretty high, and people don't understand that. I mean, I think the judge goes. Well, I'm not. I don't even know if that's a really appropriate analogy, so I'm not even going to say it. Right.
Okay, that'd be great. All right, sir, you've had an opportunity to consult.
Yes, ma'am. Just for the record, I'm a Moorish American, Aboriginal, Indigenous.
And she doesn't want to give any sort of air of intimidation towards the litigants with respect to what potential appeals may happen, or that there may be something that can go against her by having all these different sheriff's officers in this courtroom. So she's doing it both I would agree. It's the interest of justice and the interest of her own, self-interest as a judge, that she wants to make sure that nobody could say that anybody was intimidated into not saying what they want to say during the action.
Man.
Hold on, I'm going to write this down.
Into not saying what they want to say during the action.
Aboriginal, indigenous man.
You're talking too fast. Moorish American.
Aboriginal. Indigenous. Sovereign man. Okay? And as far as jurisdiction, man, according to case law, federal Supreme Court statutes,
oh yeah,
there's no discretion to
Supreme Court statutes. That's not a thing.
Ignore lack of jurisdiction. See,
Sir, I'm going to interrupt you because I'm going to repeat once again. We haven't even gotten to the issue of jurisdiction yet. The issue is whether you are going to appear in this courtroom with an attorney or without an attorney. Simply that small issue.
I understand.
After we decide that issue, we will then move on to the issue of whether this court has jurisdiction over you, whether the charges are against you, all of those things. But for today,
I just must say, man, to add on to what you're saying, jurisdiction, for the record, can be challenged at any time. See Lantana versus Hopper. I'm raising jurisdiction now, man, asserting my constitutional right, and jurisdiction hasn't been proven. I haven't even had a rebuttal from the prosecutor, man. There hasn't even been a rebuttal. The judge is not supposed to be the arbitrator. I haven't had a rebuttal once from the prosecutor.
A judge is, again, as we already discussed in the previous breakdowns I've done, a judge is not obligated to rule in favor of the motioning party simply because the responding party has not provided a response. A judge may rule in your favor, but they are not bound to do so.
I can assure you I am not an arbitrator.
Understand.
She is a Superior Court judge. Let's make sure we get that out of the way. This isn't a municipal court judge. This isn't like some traffic hearing officer. This is an actual Superior Court judge. That's how it works here in New Jersey.
I've sent plenty of documentation asking for the returning of the documentation that the prosecutor office holds in regards to the fact of my identity and it proving that the state has no jurisdiction. And jurisdiction, again, can be challenged at any time. See Lantana versus Hopper. The burden shifts to the courts to prove jurisdiction. See 100 SCT 2502. There is no discretion to ignore lack of jurisdiction. See Rosemond versus Lambert 46-9 F2D 416. So, with that being said, man, can jurisdiction be proven for the record? I'm here on the threat, duress, and coercion. Because I'm here, I'm not here on my own free will, other than threat, duress, and coercion. On the bail recognizance sheets that was signed, Brandon Casimir isn't signed to that. That's who originally was charged. If you amend the court records to say and reflect that Brandon Casimir is also known as Cheyenne Cushmere Ill or Cheyenne Matola Cushmere Ill and any and all derivatives, that would be improper and that would be illegal and unlawful because I'm not also known as Brandon Casimir.
Okay, the fact that you're trying to change your name and try to disassociate yourself with your birth name or what have you, that's not how it works. I can't be charged with manslaughter, change my name, say, hey, judge, the person on this indictment is not correct. My name is Max Power, so please dismiss this case.
The documentation that was given to the officer was given when he asked. I gave him authentic documentation from the state of New Jersey. That was authenticated, authenticated by the state of New Jersey. That officer had no jurisdiction. He asked where I was traveling. I said Timbuktu. This land is indigenously called Timbuktu.
Okay.
I have the right to assert that right according to Article 6 of the treaty.
I'm going to interrupt you. There are some people that believe that this is the state of New Jersey.
Kinda.
You may not believe that, but there are people that believe that this is the state of New Jersey.
Belief is not reason and facts, man. So because the state of New Jersey gives out authentication documentation on West State Street in Trenton, New Jersey, that's why I know the state of New Jersey to exist at. The state of New Jersey is not the soil of the land. So if anyone thinks that the state of New Jersey is the soil of the land, they're sadly mistaken.
Well,
okay, how is Timbuktu any different from the state of New Jersey? How are they not also names on a paper? Names describing geographic lines, invisible geographic lines on a paper. How are they not on equal footing?
I think that there are probably some people that believe that you are sadly mistaken, but that is not the issue today. If you wish to address the issues that I have brought before that, no. My issue today is, are you going to appear with a lawyer or are you going to appear without a lawyer? That is the only issue I am addressing today. I am not addressing the issue of jurisdiction.
Excuse me, ma'am. According to,
I think he did say special appearance earlier.
To federal case law in the United States Constitution and the United States Supreme Court,
and when the issue is raised properly before this court, I will consider.
Being raised at any time, ma'am.
Excuse me a moment, please. There is a lot of talking going on in the courtroom that I can hear. If I can hear it, it is being recorded on our recording system. Two things. I don't think you want people on the recording system to know what you're saying. The second,
because I actually enhanced the audio and I was actually able to hear what they were saying. And that's Deacon, that's exactly where I got max power. Exactly. That's Deacon, I love you. I love you for getting the reference. Thank you. I promise by the end of my third beer, I'll probably wish you a happy birthday by doing the whole song and dance bit. As my gift to you for getting that reference completely.
I will consider.
Being raised at any time, man.
Excuse me a moment.
Well, I want to hear what they say.
No. My issue today is, are you going to appear with a lawyer or are you going to appear without a lawyer? That is the only issue I am addressing today. I am not addressing the issue of jurisdiction.
Excuse me, ma'am. According to
and you can see him doing that, right? Wait, there. You can see him calling out like this, like, hey, say this, that, and the other thing, right?
According to a federal case law in the United States Constitution and the United States Supreme Court,
and when the issue is raised properly before this court, I will consider.
Being raised at any time.
And that, he said, and I think I heard him say it's being raised. And that's why he's repeating it.
Excuse me a moment, please. There is a lot of talking going on in the courtroom that I can hear. If I can hear it, it is being recorded on our recording system. Two things. I don't think you want people on the recording system to know what you're saying. The second is you're interfering with me. If it continues, I will have to ask you to leave the courtroom.
Objection, ma'am. According to Canon 3, a judge to the court to every person who is legally interested.
It doesn't matter. If somebody in the gallery is being disruptive, the judge is going to ask him to leave. They are not your counsel. That's the distinction. They're not your lawyer. They can't be your lawyer. So if they keep on disrupting and trying to whisper in your ear, like some R&B artist, she's gonna chuck them out.
Any proceeding of that person's lawyer, full right to be heard according to law. Asking us to leave the room, man, is improper.
I'm not asking you to leave the room at all. I'm asking people who are speaking so loudly that they are interfering with the proceedings.
You asked me, am I going to proceed with attorneys? This is my society. And my greatest society exists beyond these walls. They have power of attorney.
You giving them power of attorney does not make them your lawyer. Does not allow them to sit as your counsel. That's not what power of attorney means. And a lot of sovereign citizens make that mistake. Oh my God.
A written agreement, contractually. That's a constitutional right for us to be able to enter into an agreement.
Yes! Deacon, yes! That's exactly what I was thinking about! I love you. I love you so much right now.
To do. Who is it actually that holds the power of
My entire council. This is my council.
And what do you want them to do? In this courtroom
According
today.
to constitutional law.
No. Tell me the actions that you want them to take in
Counsel.
this courtroom today.
Counsel, I want my society members
Sitting next to you?
Yes, counseling me.
That is not going to happen, sir.
Well, that is
When you
improper
need
and
to
illegal, man.
It is not.
According
And when
to
you need to
Canada
consult with them, you simply tell me. You can step outside. We have a private conference room on the left-hand side. You can consult with them there.
According
They
to
are
the
not
Code
going
of
to sit at the
Judicial
council
Conduct.
table with you.
According to the Code of Judicial Conduct, man, that's not stipulated in Article 3.
There are a lot of things that aren't stipulated in Article
Okay, we are now on beer number 3.
3, including the fact that you and I need to consult with one another. We need to be polite to one another.
Absolutely,
That's not
No, nobody broke me. It's just that me and Deacon are like in sync right now. She knows exactly what I'm getting at.
there.
Absolutely.
So there are a lot of things that aren't.
I'm being polite as possible, man.
I'm not suggesting otherwise.
Okay. And
Auditing the USA about filming in a courtroom? I haven't seen that yet, Andrew.
Okay, then you let me know when you're finished putting it on the record, and then
Sean
you and I will
Hawkins.
continue. with
Harvey
our-
Birdman.
Man, jurisdiction
Attorney
can be
at
challenged at any time. See Lantana versus Hopper. I'm raising jurisdictional issues right now, man. You're
I
asking
fucking
me
love
to,
Harvey Birdman.
assert whether or not I will have
I feel like I
an
should do a
attorney
watch
at
party for
law
that.
Be representing
One
me.
of these days.
That is impossible, unlawful, and illegal, and that is against your constitutional oath if you force me to get an attorney at law.
I'll count that as oath of
The
office.
fact that jurisdiction can be challenged at any time. Courts must prove on record all jurisdiction facts related to the jurisdiction asserted. We can't proceed until jurisdiction is proven.
You finished?
Are you done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The issue we are going to discuss today, and I'm going to repeat this for the last
I move
time.
the court, ma'am, to dismiss this case for lack of jurisdiction.
Denied.
This is the problem. This is where I'm like, the judge. I'll admit the judge is being a bit too nice, because him interrupting like that would not fly with the judge I clerk with. She asked, "Are you done?" He said, "Yes." And then she started talking, and she didn't get 5 words until he interrupted her again.
If you
Jurisdiction
want the
can't be
court,
challenged at any time, ma'am.
don't repeat yourself 4 times, please. I listen carefully. I write things down. If you wish to file that sort of an application with the court, it can be filed in writing upon
has already been
notice.
filed, ma'am.
Upon notice to everyone involved. I am not going to repeat myself again.
Here it is.
I cannot conduct this proceeding with noise from the front row. If you lady, ma'am, and you gentlemen want to stay here, be quiet.
I'm not a gentleman, man. I'm a nobleman, just for the record.
He's a
You're North
nobleman.
American, Aboriginal, Indigenous, sovereign man, whatever you are, be quiet in my courtroom. I cannot do this with people talking in the audience.
Can jurisdiction be proved, ma'am?
Sir, we are not dealing with the issue. I told you before. You want to raise that issue, you file an appropriate motion.
Has been filed, ma'am.
No, I haven't seen it yet. I'll deal with it when I see it. If it's not in the appropriate form, it's not going to get dealt with. The issue today is whether you are able to proceed in this proceeding with a lawyer or without a lawyer.
I'll be proceeding, ma'am, in propria personis et juris with the right of my society and law firm to consult me.
Well, all of that is well and good. The decision I'm going to make today is whether you are going to have an attorney at law who is admitted to practice law in the state of New Jersey and representing you. And that's what we're going to talk about now.
Excuse me, ma'am.
You got bingo already?
Cannot be licensed by any state. Board versus Swift.
Really, John? Damn it.
A plenary license is not a license.
All right. Send me a message on Discord.
What's the case you just cited?
Board versus Swear, ma'am, or Swear versus Board. Let me
Right.
get it.
Yeah. Did you read that case?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, what is it about? What is it? Why did you tell?
I actually saw a longer video where she actually goes to task on this guy about the case itself, about Schwer versus Board of Bar Examiners. I wasn't able to find it again. I think it got taken down. But she does rip into him like, that case is not relevant to what you're talking about.
Tell me what the case is about.
I'm not here to get into subject matter, ma'am. I'm simply stating for the record.
Sir, you cannot sit at that table and read part of a sentence out of the United States Supreme Court case and tell me that it means that the practice of law cannot be restricted in any way.
Ma'am, it can be restricted for those who are U.S. citizens. I'm not a U.S. citizen. I'm a Morrison.
U.S. citizens have even fewer, non-U.S. citizens have even fewer liberty than citizens. So you have less opportunity to be a lawyer than a U.S. citizen. The fuck?
American, indigenous, sovereign. I've already stated this for the record.
No, in fact, all that case had to do with whether the state of Georgia could stop someone who was...
Objection, ma'am. I am not making an application. I gave you an affidavit of fact. It is your duty to dismiss this case because this court has no jurisdiction, and the complaint warrant, according to the governing rules...
No, I already said there's going to be only two winners this evening. I'm just going to continue on with my card and see if I get bingo, for crying out loud. I'm not made of money, okay?
...to the courtroom for the state of New Jersey hasn't been signed.
But GG's to James and John as winners.
Concerning whether this case will proceed.
Again, I'm operating on the honor system, but I did find out that I can actually hold a virtual bingo. So the mechanics of that still needs to be worked out because I need to send you guys, whoever wants to participate, I need to send you individual links for your cards. But the problem is that I'm only allowed 30 cards for free. If I want more, it has to cost money. So I need to figure out how that works. So if there are more than 30 participants in bingo, I don't know. I have to do it in a way that's fair, but also isn't going to get me in trouble because technically this is, holding like a bingo like this doesn't fly with the state of New Jersey in some respects, but yeah.
I would like to say for the record that jurisdiction hasn't been proven.
I agree with you. I agree with you that you have raised that issue.
All right, no problem.
Needs to be resolved. And the record shall so reflect.
My understanding, I wish I remember seeing the evidence of this, and I can't remember how I saw the evidence, but I believe that this guy, this particular individual, Casimir, that she's talking to, he ended up pleading guilty. I don't know about the other guy, but I know this guy ended up pleading guilty and got probation, I think. Yes.
Reflect that you have raised it and that I have told you that.
Right on.
Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, but Sean, that's the problem.
So
that's might fly against both.
And I will be proceeding
YouTube's terms of service and also New Jersey state law regarding
charges and
gaming laws. There was no charge. I mean, this bingo thing is free for all comers. They just get the link into the description and they would get a random card out of 30. So here's the example. If I say like only members of my channel, for example, could participate, or members of my Patreon, that's me putting money. In other words, you have to put in money in order to participate. That can be considered as falling under the New Jersey's gaming laws, and I can get in trouble because I didn't register that. I know a lot of other streamers do things like this, and they don't think about that, but, as an attorney, I have to actually pay attention to that shit. So that's why I do these sorts of things for free. There's no cost for you. This is just me out of my own pocket. Yeah, declare myself Aboriginal, Indigenous, and not subject to the laws. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, Pope, exactly. That's why most of those things like Monopoly at McDonald's or Caps or what have you, it's no purchase necessary. Yeah, we had to reset our cards in the earlier round because James Butler won. Exactly, James. That raffle rules are exactly what that is. You didn't reset your card? Oh. Well, I guess we're still in this then. Or I am. So, for the time being, I've been operating under the honor system. But I found that there is a way to do a virtual bingo where I can call the names and people virtually would be able to check their cards that they have, but it's only up to 30. So there's a limitation there, right? So if there's more than 30 people who want to play, how do I, hand that off? You know what I mean?
You said everything you want to say?
Long ago concluded, man.
You know what, John? I do appreciate your honesty in that. So respect, man.
On April 22nd, 2008, an indictment was filed, or was handed down by the grand jury. And the title of the indictment, and it's indictment 2008-04-0441. And the caption of the indictment
I have, Andrew. I have.
Versus Brandon Casimir, also known as Cheyenne M. Casimir L. There is another defendant, Cornell C. Dixon, also known as Colonel Chauncey L., also known as Cornell Hall.
I'm not Brandon Casimir.
There have been lengthy discussions in this courtroom with regard to whether Brandon Casimir is a real-life person, not a real-life person. Someone who used to exist, who doesn't exist now. There's been a lot of discussion.
No, because I've heard many Moorish Americans say Appalachian.
Stands in my courtroom this afternoon, has advised me that his name is Cheyenne Matuto Kushimir L.
Objection, ma'am. My name is not Cheyenne Matuto Kushimir L. That is my attribute. A name is a name.
Attribute.
A label of a corporation.
What? A name is now associated purely with a corporation, apparently. The word name. So that's why they say attribute or appellation.
Well, this is a new piece of information.
I never put on the record, ma'am, for the record, that my name was Brandon Casimir.
The Moorish American Aboriginal Indigenous Sovereign
Juan, I did not know that.
Who stands in my courtroom today has the attribute.
You can't cash this clay this mess without changing your actual name.
Mutota. M-U-T-O-T-A.
Mutota.
The issue in the hearing today, and when I say today, it has been continued several days, is whether the Moorish American Aboriginal Indigenous Sovereign Man with the attribute Cheyenne Matuta Kushimir L. can continue his involvement in this litigation without a lawyer. I have used the words pro se. He objects to that.
For some fucking reason.
It is my understanding that he wants it to be impropria persona sui juris. In the state of New Jersey, we have started to talk about self-represented litigants. However you call it, the issue is the same, and that is whether this person can continue in this litigation with or without an attorney. The indictment as to Cheyenne Matuta Kushimir L. charges three things. In count 1, it charges possession of a controlled dangerous substance, to wit cocaine, out of an incident that arose in
I thought it was marijuana.
24th, 2007. It further charges in count 2 third-degree false documents and alleges that there were, it alleges in the indictment a fraudulent U.S. Department of State public minister credential in the name of Chief Minister Shyam M. Kusamir L.
Okay.
As a means of verifying a person's identity.
Objection, ma'am.
And there is the same allegation made in count 3, except that it is a 4th degree.
I thought it was marijuana, what if I recall. I thought it was marijuana, possession of marijuana, which is now legal, which is now, you know, by referendum, you know, legalized in marijuana. But already the New Jersey legislature is having trouble trying to figure out how to regulate the marijuana because New Jersey's incompetent. This fucking state, y'all.
Objection. That indictment does not say Shyam Kushmir L.
Eric Clapton, you mean Yusuf Islam?
Of concern to the court today and always, and under the line of cases of precise...
If I live in one state and go buy marijuana in another state, will I be okay? No. The moment I take it with me across state lines to a state that doesn't have legalization of marijuana, I'd be charged with a possession. Doesn't matter if I bought it in a state that has it legally. Nope. Oh, that's right. Yusuf Islam is Cat Stevens. Damn it. I forgot. I'm drunk. Leave me alone. Damn it! I forgot. Shut up. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. From what I understand is like, Arizona also had a referendum on election day, and apparently the referendum in Arizona had a lot of stuff like cleared up ahead of time. Like they had, you know, how much you can purchase. When, you know, whether or not retroactive possession cases would be affected, you know, for how long, the tax on the legalization. Like, my understanding is that the Arizona referendum had a lot of like the groundwork put in. New Jersey, it was just legalize possession, legalize the possession and use of marijuana. Okay. And then apparently now the legislature's got to figure it out.
And most recently, State of New Jersey versus Pascal Dubois at 189 New Jersey 454.
That's good.
Is whether
taken.
A litigant.
Too much. I saw that Alva too much fucking G Fuel. I got free samples of that shit, and I bought like a small tub of that like 3 years ago, and yeah, I'll never buy it again.
Knowingly and intelligently waives the right to be represented by
G-Fuel,
counsel.
fuck you.
When he or she says to the court, I don't want a lawyer.
Back in my day, the gamers drank balls. BAWLS.
Cheyenne and Total Kushmir L.
The inquiry that the court must make deals with certain requirements set out in Crisafi. And it really...
I think balls still actually exists.
The defendant
John
understands the nature of the charges, the range of punishment, the technical problems associated with self-representation.
Tiger, exactly. It was blue, but it had grip marks on it.
Procedure and evidence, and understands that he or she will be required to comply with them.
Cocaine can, baby.
Whether the person understands the lack of legal knowledge of the law, the procedure will impair the defense. Whether the defendant understands and appreciates the impact and the danger and the pitfalls of appearing in the dual role of a defendant and an attorney.
Yeah, Red Balls was like back when I was in
Whether the person understands
junior high, high
what
school.
it is to proceed without assistance from an attorney. I have attempted this afternoon.
I would kill to have a case of Red Balls. I haven't had it in not years, decades,
Objection.
for that matter. I haven't had it in at least 15 years, if not more. 20 years.
Whether he understands. That's right.
So you're
Well, what
threatening
about
me?
the 26th? Are you available then?
Are you threatening me, ma'am?
Of course I'm not threatening you.
So you forced me to come.
Cheyenne Matuda Cushing-Morrell, you should be clear in your mind that I am issuing no threats to you. As I said before, you've been exceedingly polite and courteous. I think I've been polite and courteous.
You turned 38 in 4 hours and 55 minutes.
However, these are the dates that I have.
No, I know girls exist in gaming. They not still, they always have. It's just, you know, they were rare at the time and now more often here.
Any of those days better than another for you?
I'm subject to the court's jurisdiction, so I will not be able to physically.
Alpha girls don't exist at all.
Well, appear metaphysically then.
girls are
January
made up.
26th at 9 o'clock in the morning.
I cannot make that date, man.
An 8-pack of balls on Amazon is $40. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Put it back for the 20th.
Under threat, duress, and coercion, I
No,
choose
sir,
Tuesday.
not. You want Tuesday the 20th?
Under threat, duress, and coercion.
Tuesday the 20th at 9 a.m. And if you're not able to be here physically, you're going to be here metaphysically. What we will decide on that day is we will do the briefing.
And that is when you hear the judge trolling the defendant, and that's where I love her. Well, if you can't be here physically, you can be here metaphysically.
So that we can decide the issue of jurisdiction.
Okay, can you clarify? What do you mean metaphysically?
What do you mean you can't be here physically?
Can't be here physically in this room. That's what I mean.
Okay.
All right.
Can you clarify?
No, I cannot, and I will not.
No, I cannot, and I will not.
We will set the briefing schedule so that the issue of does this court have jurisdiction can be heard and determined. All right?
Agreed.
Pardon me?
And Liz, I agree with you because unfortunately, I've seen it firsthand, like in a lobby personally, and it sucks. It really does. I wish it didn't exist, but the anonymity of the internet brings out the worst in people sometimes. So
all the briefs that I have, we will collect. If we need others, we'll tell you when they're due, and I'll give a hearing.
You're a 36-year-old 2L?
Decided
the
on that day.
fuck? I mean, I met other older folks like that myself, so I can't harp onto you too bad.
The name on the indictment.
But I thought I was old.
You're going to say object because that's nobody's name.
As a live streamer. With the exception of like maybe like 20 people I know, famously.
No. Let me just read this. Cornell Dixon.
All of my fellow live streamers that I know, like on a decent basis, I think with the exception of one, I am the oldest among them. The rest are like in their now or in like their late 20s, early 30s. Pack of 10-ounce bottles for $28. I mean, I'll take that.
Sovereign man who goes by an attribute different than that, which I cannot remember now. I apologize.
All right, Preston, hold on. Let's go back. Yeah.
And you're going to say object because that's nobody's name. I understand all that. Is Cornell Dixon, also known as...
Objection, Cornell.
No. Let me just read this. Cornell Dixon, also known as Colonel Chauncey L., also known as Cornell Hall. I am unable at this time. I know that
Yes. 60 in 3 months. I mean, I know a lot of viewers. I mean, Wazoo is
I know that. The Moorish
like in his late
American
50s.
Aboriginal indigenous sovereign man.
I know a lot of viewers who are like
Who goes by an attribute different than
much older than I am.
Which I cannot remember.
Which
now,
I appreciate,
apologize.
nonetheless. Doesn't matter what age you are. The fact that you're watching me, I appreciate it.
CL, but I don't have the whole correct attribute written down. Amir Colonel Chaunciel. His matter will also be scheduled for the same date and time. Separate notice will be sent on that case. I'm not expecting you to do anything with that, but that will be it. Now, I do not know if Amir Colonel Chaunciel has also raised the issue of jurisdiction, mostly because I don't remember.
Actually, Judge,
If he has,
I don't know if he's raised the issue of jurisdiction. I know he's represented by Mr. Keesler.
By Mr. Keesler.
Objection. Mr. Keesler has no contracts with any members of the America Society.
You are unable to speak for Amir
Mayor
Colonel
Colonel
Chaunciel.
Chaunciel is a member of the America Society, and I'm able to speak on his behalf because that is the law. He is a member of my society, and he does not have any contracts with any probation, not probation, public defender, John Keesler.
Well, all I know is Judge Smith appointed the Office of the Public Defender
Objection.
to
Judge
represent
Smith. Objection.
Amir Colonel Chaunciel, and I understand that the Office of the Public Defender assigned it to Mr. Keesler.
Objection, ma'am.
Whether you object or you don't object, that's the status.
Judge
In any
Smith
event, what I wanted to
released-
advise you of this
Can't get
is I do
liquors
not know
delivered to you
if in
well, that
proceedings
sounds about right.
involving him, the issue of jurisdiction has been raised. We will discuss that on the 20th as well. I assume he's raising the same issue. Has that issue been raised, Mr. Luciano?
Judge, I will say I think the papers have been filed together.
Okay.
Both of the defendants.
So that issue has been raised.
I think it's
Okay.
probably fair we just
Then with
handle
regard,
both, yeah.
then you should be
Yes,
prepared with regard to that we will address that as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, it's funny. It's funny, like, you know, people talk about their ages and everything. Like, hear me out. Hear me out. As you know, I have parents. I love them. You know, I got nothing against my parents, but I always feel like my parents, despite my dad getting close to 70 now, he's getting close to 70 years old at this point. My brain, I think because of the way I grew up, because I only associate my dad's age with how I grew up from junior high through high school or early college. My dad is like permanently like 55 years old, and my mom is like permanently 45 years old. Like, it's hard for me to fathom that my dad is nearing 70 and my mom is in her 60s. I feel like, am I the only one who thinks like that sometimes? Because my sister told me that she feels the same way. Like, my mom is like permanently 48 and my dad is permanently 55.
Yes, Amir Colonel Chaunciel, member of the America Society, has raised jurisdictional questions as well.
And we'll deal with those then.
And you said this is January 20th?
Sean, I know exactly what you're talking about. Dude, I had a Hotmail account back before Microsoft bought Hotmail, okay?
January 20th at 9 a.m.
I know all about that ASL.
9 a.m.
Yes, sir.
My dad is 7 years older than my mom.
Briefing schedule and a hearing schedule so that the
What's everybody's AIM handle? Oh my god.
Before, I don't know if you listened, I acknowledged that you raised that issue, and I acknowledge it has to be decided. Mr. Luciano will be prepared to address that issue as well, because the way it happens in these cases, and I'm telling you, you're gonna have a lawyer, but in any event is, you raise the issue, you present whatever law, whatever facts you have, Mr. Luciano gets to respond, we have a hearing, there can be oral arguments, sometimes there isn't, and then I decide if the court has jurisdiction.
Objection, ma'am. I am a lawyer of my society.
I had FlashNet and NetZero, the AOL free trial CDs.
Anything else in this?
Nice try, FBI.
Oh, man.
Nothing further. Ms. State,
Now,
thank you.
you did have some papers that you showed me, and we gave them back to you because it looked like that might be your only copy. Are you filing them with the clerk of the court?
They've already been filed with the clerk of court.
56K all the way.
Can I just tell you something?
Yes, ma'am.
If you are filing things that you want me to see, and you want me to see them sooner rather than later, when you file them downstairs, put a little, do you just post a little
Yes,
post-it
ma'am.
that says, please deliver this to Judge LeBon's chambers, or you don't even have to say please, not to be polite, although you are exceedingly polite. Put on there, deliver to Judge LeBon's chambers, because what happens is when you file them downstairs, they simply go into the court file, and
cause yeah, LimeWire and Kazaa. My God, Napster. Yep, I was torrenting the fuck out of everything after LimeWire and Kazaa and everything like that. Oh boy, yeah, reported exactly. We found the FBI agent. Winamp. It really licks the llama's ass. What's the statute of limitations on? I would know, right? Fuck. What was I? Anybody ever used to play Planarium? It was like a browser game. Yes, back in the old days, I did peruse entertainment media without paying the appropriate funds to do so. I no longer do that because I am older, I am smarter, and I also have the disposable income to pay for that. Anyway, this is another example of the judge being courteous, being respectful, and giving advice to the defendant despite his lack of respect to the court in turn.
And unless I come in on a Friday morning and say to myself, gee, I ought to go downstairs and see if there's anything in the file that has indictment number 441, I wouldn't see it until, like today, I pulled the file up. So it makes it easier for everybody.
Problem.
Anything else? Thank you very much. Court is in recess.
Honest.
Do you want to take your green sheet with you that has the court date on it?
No, ma'am.
We always give them to you, and you always say, no, I'm not going to take it. I forget what you write on there.
I have the date here, ma'am.
Okay, very good.
All right. Have a beautiful day.
All right, good morning. This is under indictment 08-04-0441. Counsel, your appearance, please.
Good morning. Assistant Prosecutor Mike Luciano from the state.
All right.
And Cheyenne M. Pushamurel, would you state your name?
Oh yeah, this is still going. We're going from the pretrial hearing to the last pretrial from the actual hearing on jurisdiction. It goes from a lot of the preliminary hearings to the ultimate hearing on jurisdiction. We don't get to actually hear the trial because, again, one of them pled guilty. I don't know what happened to the other one, but yeah.
Please.
Cheyenne Matilda Cushman L. on behalf of the Marrakesh Empire Aboriginal Law.
All right.
Divix? Oh my God, Divix.
A couple of questions, please. The first question I want to ask you is, are you employed?
Objection, man. This hearing is supposed to be about jurisdiction.
What, with like Windows 98? Thomas, I play that pinball game all the time.
For a basic issue in any case before a tribunal.
I did not steal cable internet. My parents did steal cable internet. For the record, on the record, and let the record show.
Listen, this case in this courtroom is a culpable, incompetent court of jurisdiction. You can't, according to federal case law, you can't set another hearing to reach and determine your own jurisdiction. As I've stated for the record plenty of times, I'm only handling threat, duress, and coercion, and because the prosecution falsely holds my property, and I'm here to clarify that matter. Other than that, I'm here under threat, duress, and coercion. It is completely against federal case law. It has power to act, and a court must have the authority to decide that question in the first instance. That's Rescuomi versus Municipal Court of Los Angeles. A departure by a court from the recognized and established requirements of law, however close apparent adherence to mere form and method of procedure, which has the effect of depriving one of a constitutional right, is an excess of jurisdiction. You have the flag right behind you, ma'am.
May I interrupt you for a moment,
You
please?
may not, ma'am.
Okay.
Would you, when you're done speaking, would you let me know so that I can ask a question?
I'm not obligated to answer any questions, so I have no intentions of answering any question.
Well, I'll ask it anyway, and then I'll ask it anyway.
I don't answer
Decide
questions.
what you want to say.
Thus, where a judicial tribunal has no jurisdiction of the subject matter on which it assumes to act, its proceedings are absolutely void in the fullest sense of the term, Dillon versus Dillon. Courts enforcing mere statutes, as it is to my understanding that this is a statute, not a constitutional violation.
Okay. This is, again, where they bastardize case law. And this is where they butcher a case law. I forget what the case law was. Where the issue, where this guy's getting this, like, courts enforcing mere statutes do not act judicially, but merely ministerially. He's getting that from an instance where the judge is not acting as a judge. He's determining whether or not somebody is afforded a license. A license. I forget what the license was, but that was the context. It was not a criminal case. It was not a civil case. It was whether or not a judge is going to grant a license to somebody. So yes, in that context, the judge, because a judge does not enforce statutes. That's the job of the executive, not the judiciary. The executive enforces statutes, not the judge. But that's not what the judge is doing in this case. The judge is not enforcing the criminal statute. The prosecutor is enforcing the criminal statute. That's where he's fucking up, and that's where he's butchering this case law.
Violation of law. In fact, one of the hearings I had with you, you said people are not charged with constitutional violations. I don't understand how you could be enforcing statutes and you have the U.S. flag behind you, as if you hadn't taken an oath to uphold the Constitution. Courts enforcing their statutes do not act judicially, but merely ministerially. Thus, no judicial immunity, and unlike courts of law, do not obtain jurisdiction by service of process.
Again, what I was telling you, Deacon, earlier in previous live streams, he is reading from a script. He is reading from a printout of these various court cases, cherry-picked, and just reciting the lines one by one.
Nor even arrest and compelled appearance. Boswell versus Otis. I've been here 3 or 4 times on the threat, duress, and coercion. Prosecution doesn't even have folders in front of him. He has no objections. He has nothing to say. He cannot prove jurisdiction. This court should have been dismissed this case. This is a colorable court of incompetent jurisdiction. The fact that petitioner was released on a promise to appear before a magistrate for an arraignment, that fact is circumstance to be considered in determining whether the first instance there was a probable cause for the arrest. Monroe versus Popper. There's no discretion to ignore the lack of jurisdiction. Court must prove on all jurisdiction facts related to the jurisdiction asserted. A universal principle, as old as the law, is that proceedings of a court without jurisdiction are a nullity and its judgment therein without effect either on person or property. This case has already been put before the federal court, and you will be receiving a notice of removal very shortly. This court has no jurisdiction. Prosecution can't prove jurisdiction. This case shall be dismissed, and it will.
Did you file a notice of removal with the federal court?
Yes, you will be receiving it shortly.
All right. When I receive it, I will rule on it.
I already found that notice of removal, and it was already dismissed with prejudice at the federal level.
Are you employed?
I'm not employed. I'm not employed with any corporations incorporated with the state of New Jersey.
Are you employed with any corporation that's incorporated outside of the state of New
Objection.
Jersey?
I'm not here to answer questions about my employment. The last time I was made aware of this was supposed to be about whether this court has jurisdiction.
No, it wasn't.
Clearly, it doesn't. A question about employment.
That's not what the hearing was about, or what she said back then.
So I'm not obligated to answer those questions. And I shall not be answering any more of those questions that are not pertaining to jurisdictional facts.
Well, this is my question to you. I asked it before. If your position is that this court has no jurisdiction to determine its own jurisdiction.
Objection, man.
How can I rule?
That's not my holding. I've given you federal case law regarding such. And maybe you can take some time out that you need to do to recheck that, but that's what the case law says. It's not what I said.
Well, I do have jurisdiction over you. Number one, you're here in my courtroom.
Yep.
Objection, man. You do not have jurisdiction over me. I'm here by way of threat, duress, and coercion. The federal case law stipulates already that compelled appearance and arrest warrants doesn't give a minister acting ministerially and not judicially enforcing.
He's not a minister.
That's incorrect and false. You do not have jurisdiction because I'm here. You've told me before when I was here that you would lock me up if I didn't come, which was threat, duress, and coercion.
I think that you misstated.
That's not what she said.
Objection, ma'am. I have not misstated.
No, they do not. And the proof of that, if you see my very, very first debate that I had with a more sovereign citizen deacon with Devon Bay, you will find that he does not, and most of them do not actually read what they're saying, nor do they do their actual due diligence and actually read the full case law of what the paperwork they're using is citing. They don't. They take the documents, accept it as fact, and go with it. And just assume that it's true.
The videos, I have it on repeat 24/7. I've seen you say it.
I don't recall that I said I would lock you up.
Well, objection, ma'am. That's on the record.
Well, you can object all that you want, sir. You and I will continue to have a difference of opinion about that. All right. Well, we'll continue with today's proceedings then. And I certainly appreciate the courtesy that you extend to me. All right, Mr. Walker, I know that you're here. You wish to be heard, sir?
Your Honor, I have Kevin Walker appearing on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender. We did receive after the last hearing a court order directing the Office of the Public Defender to represent this defendant. I did file a motion for reconsideration, noting that there has been no indigency determination, which is an essential component of...
Which is what she's doing right now. Right now in this hearing, she is determining indigency of the defendant, determine whether or not he can have a public defender represent him. The public defender's office is saying that, like, we don't have any determination of indigency. So, but I think also at the same time, the public defender's office, like, we don't want anything to do with this guy because he wants nothing to do with us. So why are we wasting our time dealing with being forced to represent somebody who doesn't want our representation?
About our appointment. So I would ask respectfully that an indigency determination be made at this time, and absent that earlier order directing me to represent this defendant.
I already have. I don't have answer questions marked on my bingo card.
Mr. Luciano?
I don't, Judge.
All right.
Luciano.
I have inquired of Cheyenne Mutada Kushamurel concerning his employment. He tells me he is not employed in the state of New Jersey by any corporation, and therefore I determine that he does not have the present ability to pay for counsel to proceed in this matter.
Objection, ma'am. I don't know this gentleman. I haven't made any contracts with the public defender's office. I don't know what that was an attempt to do, but he does not have the authority to speak for me. So I would appreciate it if any non-identified parties determining to act on my behalf first fill out an IRS Form 56 and notify the IRS that
an IRS Form 56 for a public defender? What the fuck?
They're acting in some sort of fiduciary capacity.
All right. Let's talk about the issue of, Mr. Walker, I want to talk about the issue of jurisdiction. One of the issues that has been raised in this case and has been raised over and over again that really needs to be determined before we can proceed with it is with regard to jurisdiction.
Yeah,
I have received, it was filed with the court.
What?
It was received in my chambers on January 7th. I'm not exactly sure if it's filed downstairs on a different
Nani?
Something that has been entitled a non-negotiable affidavit of fact to dismiss with prejudice for lack of personam jurisdiction, lack of discovery, and lack of an injured party. It purports to raise the issue before the court.
No injured party.
Jurisdiction with regard to Cheyenne Mutada Kushmir L. Despite what Cheyenne Mutada Kushmir L says, this is not an application to the court to dismiss anything with anything. There are certain ways, as you are aware, Mr. Walker, to bring issues before the court.
Well, I think Deacon is referring to the phrase legal, which used to actually be just like a phrase of referring a euphemism, but not. I don't know if Deacon's referring specifically to the YouTuber who I know who you're talking about, Alpha.
What we need to do is have the issue brought before the court properly by way of a notice of motion. I don't even know if Mr. Luciano got a copy of this, but certainly you know that any motion filed has to be served on the prosecutor. How much time does your office need in order to do that? And did you receive a copy of this?
Judge, I have not received a copy of that, and before I address that issue, I would respectfully request that you inquire into this defendant's assets to see whether he has a present ability to retain private counsel.
Well, he tells me he isn't employed by a corporation, so...
Objection. This is obscene.
Sir? This is a conversation that I'm having with Mr. Walker, not with you. And the way you didn't want me to interrupt you, I would like you not to interrupt me or Mr. Walker.
Shut the fuck up!
Objection.
Please!
This man cannot speak for me, man.
He's not!
I hadn't filled out any public defender's applications nor contracts to agree to that. You cannot force me against my consent to have someone who I had no formal contract or agreement with to speak on my behalf. I'm a natural flesh and blood man. I don't have to have, yes ma'am. I do not have to have an attorney at law, a colorable attorney at law.
Phoenix Wright, hands down.
Propose or purport to speak for me in any regards to these matters at hand.
When you asked me not to interrupt you, I didn't interrupt you. I'm asking you not to interrupt me. I would appreciate it if you would not interrupt me. Well, I've inquired of him. He tells me he's not employed.
Judge, I think he indicated he's not employed by a corporation in the state of New Jersey. I would respectfully request that Your Honor ask him whether he has any...
The cat just like walked in, stared at me, and then walked out.
Objection, ma'am. I'm not here to answer questions from a third-party perspective from a de facto attorney at law. However, for the record, my job in service to man is to uplift fallen humanity. That is my job.
Do you receive compensation for...
Do you receive compensation for uplifting all of humanity?
Uplifting fallen humanity?
My job is to uplift fallen humanity.
Do you receive any compensation for
only the compensation of goodwill that I receive
uplifting
from God.
Fallen humanity? All right. So I take it that you don't receive any money.
And that's where I love the judge, because he's trolling him.
Things of that nature.
Objection, ma'am. I'm not going to be answering any of these questions as they're unintelligible and they have nothing to do pertaining to jurisdiction. As it was told...
Unintelligible? Which of the words did you not understand, sir? And I will use different words.
I don't understand the entire proceeding. This is colorable and foreign to me. I'm from a different society. We're not used to these proceedings, these colorable proceedings. And you're asking me questions, excuse me,
over
you're asking
and
me
over
questions that are
that
non-relative
you do not understand and that it is not intelligible, and I do not believe you.
Well, it doesn't matter if you believe me, ma'am. I don't understand any of these proceedings. I don't understand the questions and the nature thereof. They don't have anything to do with jurisdiction. Jurisdiction hasn't been proven, which this was supposed to be a hearing about jurisdiction.
But no one filed an application with this court
in living color. Now that is a throwback.
A non-negotiable affidavit of fact to dismiss with prejudice for lack of personam jurisdiction is not an application to this court to take any action whatsoever.
It's not.
Ma'am. Haynes v. Keller, 404 U.S.
already stipulates that you must accept that
Stop saying stipulates. That's not what stipulates means.
affidavit as it is.
You're just saying that to sound smart, and it's not working. Stop saying stipulates.
A written form of communication in regarding the matters as such. Haynes versus Kennedy, maybe you need to check that out. But either way, you're supposed to accept that as a...
And now he's being a condescending asshole. Maybe you need to take some time to check that out, Your Honor. Maybe you need some time to go read a law dictionary, Your Honor. Now he's being completely disrespectful to the judge.
Unorthodox affidavit of fact.
Oh, I don't know what a non-negotiable affidavit of fact is. I don't know what a non-negotiable affidavit of fact is.
Negotiable here. I don't know what you have there,
Here,
man.
take a
I
look
don't
at
want
it.
to see it.
It's spelled? Sir, would you show this to him?
Objection. I'm not choosing to see that. I have the copy right here. Mine
No,
says...
I want you to look at what I have there. Just point out the word to him, please, and then bring it back. You going to look at it, sir?
Objection, ma'am. I've already stated that I will not be looking at it. I have a copy here. Mine says non-negotiable affidavit of fact.
Well, I'm not the one that filed this, so I'm not the one that put it in. But in any event, there is no proper application before this court. There is no unorthodox application before this court. This court, according to your statement, lacks jurisdiction to determine its own jurisdiction, and absent a proper application, it's never going to happen.
Objection, ma'am. I haven't stated from my own opinion. Again, courts enforcing mere statutes do not act judicially, but merely ministerially. Thus, no judicial immunity, and unlike courts of law, because obviously this isn't a court of law, do not obtain jurisdiction by service of process, nor even arrest and compelled appearance. Boswell versus Otis, non-Howe.336.348.
I already looked up that case site, and it doesn't say what he thinks it says. Again, these guys operate as if nobody's going to actually look up the bullshit that they're citing.
So wait, you want to take a look at that? I don't know.
No, sir, I don't want to look at it. I don't want to look at it.
I'm asking this gentleman.
Sir, you don't get to talk to him.
understand.
You can talk to me if you want. Well,
I'm
anyway,
uncomfortable.
let me
Uncomfortable
know.
with him standing here, man.
That's too bad.
That sounds like a personal problem.
Standing there until I tell him otherwise.
And this is threat to Russian coercion. It's clear that this is a colorful court of law. Excuse
Well,
me.
it is colorful. If you look around, it is colorful.
Colorable means
6 feet.
Colorful. I thought you said colorful.
Colorful.
I didn't say that, man. I said colorable.
Okay.
Yes. De facto.
Oh, de facto.
Means that this court has no jurisdiction and it doesn't enforce law, but mere statutes, which are not law. I haven't violated any constitutional laws. I've already stated for the record that I have a treaty of peace and friendship via 1787. Article 4 of that signifies that I will have the right to be exempt from examination. No one in here has put their status and nationality on the record. The U.S. flag is behind you, and you choose to disregard anything dealing with the Constitution. This is a colorable court of law. The notice of removal has already been filed, so whatever takes place here today is just a colorable de facto proceeding, and you will be receiving shortly the notice of removal. And then when you receive that, you can make your determinations about how you're going to handle that, how the prosecution is going to handle that. But as far as any other question goes, man, I'm not obligated to answer them. I shall not be answering them. And it is a violation.
This is yet another individual who talks and acts like his shit don't stink.
Of my rights.
This is something my father always said.
I can speak now?
You can fill in.
That's something straight out of my dad.
Again, I am satisfied from what little Cheyenne Mutada Kushamirel has said that he lacks the present ability, since his job is uplifting fallen humanity and the only compensation he receives is the grace of God, and I find that he lacks the present ability to obtain counsel to represent himself. If in fact, however, this matter is going to be removed to federal court, I don't have a copy of the notice of removal, so I don't know what the status of it is. We of course will.
Okay, to be specific, friggin' Pope, it was possession of cocaine, false papers, like false identification, and something else. I forget what the third charge was.
Take no further action in this court I'm not aware of it being filed, but I take Cheyenne Mutada Kushmir-L's word that something was filed with the federal court that purports to be a notice of removal. If it's the same as the kinds of things that get filed with me, I'm not sure it's ever going to happen, but we'll do that. But in any event, what I will do is, there are several things that I want to do today. I know that your office needs some time, and I do have a copy of the non-negotiable affidavit of fact, which I will make
non-negotiable.
And we'll give it, I think. The first thing that I want to do is this. In this matter, which is under docket number, or
cocaine is a hell of a drug.
0-04-0441, there are two named defendants. There is Cheyenne Mutada Kushmir-L, and there is
man, Miss Mutoda.
Mutoda?
I don't understand about your phonetics or how you pronounce words. Miss Mutoda.
Mutoda.
Mutada.
I thought you had told me it was M-U-T-A-T.
I fucking love
M-U-T-O-T-A.
how
the Cheyenne Mutoda Kushmir-L,
or no,
precisely,
like 17 or 18 years later, Chappelle's show is still
and I am going
being referenced. I love it.
Sponte, sever these matters so that there are it will no longer track as one case, but will track as two separate cases.
Hakuna Matata.
So that I can list them on separate days and deal with them separately.
Mark. Hakuna Matata. Got him.
March 23rd sufficient time, Mr. Walker?
I think so, Judge.
All right. Then this matter shall be and hereby is continued until Monday, March 23rd at 9 o'clock.
Objection, man. The notice of removal is already in. You will be.
I mean, we're laughing. You're right. We're laughing, but the fact is that these guys are operating with such conviction that you have to think that these guys actually believe what they're saying, and you have to wonder what or who taught them this stuff.
Receiving it today. So
if I receive it before March 23rd at 9 a.m., I am aware of my obligations when a matter has been removed to federal court.
But still,
if for some reason the federal court does not accept
this is 2009,
or it's not properly filed, or there's something else.
11 years ago. I think these guys are out by now.
I will not be participating in any more of these proceedings.
Do what you want.
Do what you want.
I'm sorry, I can do that.
This is the only notice that I will give you of the proceeding on March 23rd at 9 o'clock in the morning. We don't send out letters reminding people. We'll simply expect that you will be here. Thank you very much.
He will be contacted by my office, and we'll arrange an interview with him in the office, and he'll have to sign in.
Do you have his address?
It's on here. Address I have is the
P.O. box. It's right here.
Objection. If you attempt to contact me and negotiate any contracts with me, you will be getting sued in federal court too as well, sir.
All right. Thank you very much.
And that's what he feels like about the public defender's office. Contact me and I'll sue your ass. Okay.
Mr. Al, present to my right.
And then this guy, I hate to say, but this guy is actually even worse than the previous guy.
Mr. Keesler is not here on behalf of me. He's here on behalf of your interest. When I first visited this vicinage.
All right, I got my last one of the Barnegat loggers.
You were Mr. Keesler on this matter. When this matter was transferred here, you were placing Mr. Keesler on this matter. This matter, Mr. Keesler was not on this matter.
Judge Smith did that.
No, Judge Smith did not do that. In fact, when we first addressed this matter, if you could give me a second. No, I'm talking. Excuse me. When we first addressed this matter, you read on the record, and I have the video, that you did not understand what Judge Smith meant by that this matter was to be adjourned until the defense inquired representation. That's what you said, ma'am. Mr. Keesler was not on this matter when it came here, ma'am. So therefore, he's not on this matter now. I do not require the services of the Office of Public Defense. And if he was on this matter, there's never been an interview. There's never been any discovery forwarded. There's never been any indictment forwarded. We don't have any copies of the official state of New Jersey certified Essex County public records that were stolen by Matthew T. Dill and are unlawfully held by the Office of Prosecution. We don't have copies of that pursuant to the courtroom rules that I've heard you mention plenty of times that stipulate that we're supposed to be giving copies of those instruments, or those original instruments ought to be transferred back because they're not contraband or issued in the indictment or listed in the indictment.
We're saying that, but...
So I don't have any information relative to this matter, ma'am. So the account numbers that you read, I don't have any information pertaining to them.
Thank you, sir.
Judge, if I could just clarify the record. In proceedings that took place downstairs before Judge Smith, Your Honor, he had removed the Office of Public Defender from Representative Mr. L. He then later reversed that ruling and sent the matter upstairs to Your Honor. So, as a point of clarification, when we came up here, you had indicated that, given the fact that Judge Smith had reversed that order, that the Public Defender's Office was in on this matter.
All right. Thank you for refreshing my record.
Thank you, now, sir, I'm talking.
But this is not your case.
Well, I'm talking.
Objection.
Please wait.
He is not my attorney.
ACL.
Noble.
He may not be
Not Nobel. Not Nobel.
Amir
Noble.
ACL. Mr. Kiesler is speaking to the court. Whether he's speaking on your behalf or on his own behalf, please extend to him the courtesy that has been extended to you and let him finish speaking.
No problem. I just want him to clarify.
You will have an opportunity to respond. Please listen.
No problem, ma'am. I just would like him to clarify who he's speaking on behalf of before he makes his statement.
He doesn't have to respond to anything that you say. He's speaking to me. Thank you, sir.
Judge, that brings us to our next point. Quite frankly, Judge, we need to make a motion from our office to be relieved for non-cooperation. When we were representing Mr. L, Judge, we had forwarded information on to Mr. L. It was returned to us, Judge.
Winston, say hi.
Did you send it to the post office box address?
You sent it to multiple addresses, Judge.
Objection, ma'am.
Given the fact that it's clear, Judge, he stated numerous times he doesn't want us to represent him. He will not cooperate with us, Judge. We can't effectively represent someone who does not want us. So if Your Honor requires a formal written motion, I can have that filed by the end of the week. But realistically, Judge, we're asking to be relieved for non-cooperation.
Objection, ma'am. I wish that...
What is your objection? And
I'm objecting to the fact that there hasn't been any information forwarded to my office's P.O. box. I'll put that information on record with Judge Smith. I received the recusal notice. No problem. All right, now, if the Office of Public Defense or anybody,
say hi to Winston,
whoever stipulates that they forward information to our P.O. box, that's a lie. And
I'm trying to control his weight, so I'm not giving him his evening dinner. I'm reducing him by 1 can.
Can I ask you a question? One of the things that you say is that you've never received a copy of the indictment.
Exactly.
Which
He's a fat
indictment?
kitty.
Are you referring to all three of them?
Whatever information that you have on your desk, I don't have anything.
I can resolve that problem right now. Mr. Kramer.
Kitty cannot have
I need you to
cheeseburger.
make a copy of something for me, please.
Winston. And he's gone.
I don't have the old 0302, so make the copies of the ones that I do have.
Mr. Kramer is not... I don't think Mr. Kramer's the law clerk. He looks like an intern. So he is not doing what I did when I was clerking for a judge.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Not a brat? Yes, go for it.
And then there's another one. You know where a copy machine is? Okay.
As well, I don't have...
Just a moment, please. Sir, please. I'm looking through the file. I can't listen to you and also look through the file at the same time.
I don't know why initially they were stopped, but if these guys were full-on more sovereign citizens, it's likely that they probably stopped them for not having proper plates on their car. I mean, that's a hallmark of them. That would be the hallmark of them initiating the stop. Eventually, when they refused to give their ID, they put them under arrest. Search incident to an arrest. They search the car and they find the cocaine. I mean, that's, again, I don't have the transcript. I don't have the full details, but that's where I'm going in there. No. My point being is that if these guys sound like they were full in deep with a Moorish sovereign citizen identity, so they probably didn't have proper plates on their cars, which probably is something that the cops would notice and initiate the stop, right? And then they probably gave the cops like their fake bullshit Moorish IDs. The cops were like, this is not valid. Place them under arrest for not having a valid license, and then from searching their car as a result from being arrested, that's where they found the cocaine. That's the chronology I'm asserting. I can't say that's for certain what happened, but that's what I think what happened. Yeah. As the guy narrating why he is saying and doing what he is, and the judge thinking, oh, wow. Well, and I can't wait to see that one.
If you could make one copy of each of these and bring them back to me. Thanks.
Man, while he's at it,
my cats don't like going for walks.
Other information that
they are fat kitties.
That he may want to copy. Pursuant to Rule 313, 3-3, Discovery and Inspection Rule, the prosecutor shall permit defendant to inspect
May I interrupt you?
copy
May I interrupt you for a moment,
or
please?
photograph. No,
May I
ma'am,
interrupt
I'm
you
speaking.
for a moment, please?
No, ma'am, I'm speaking.
For the record.
To a judge?
For the record.
All right, the record
The
shall
bottom line is,
that
public
any of
records.
KCL is placing information on the record.
All right, the bottom line is, pursuant to your courtroom rule 313, 3-3, B and C, I believe, I'm not part of the society, so I'm not 100% familiar with it.
Okay.
Some of it may be unintelligible to you.
According to it, I'm not familiar with it.
Right, I understand.
So, just correct me if I'm wrong, but it stipulates...
Again, arrogance, condescension is a hallmark of these guys' things.
It doesn't stipulate anything.
No, damn it, leave me. I'm well aware that I'm unhealthy. All right, I am well aware that my resting heart rate is higher than it should be. Okay, leave me alone.
Discovery and Inspection Rule 3:13, 3-3B and C. It stipulates the prosecutor shall permit the defendant, if you're claiming I'm a defendant, I've been here almost 8 visits, and this prosecution has failed to prove jurisdiction, and so have you. It stipulates that books, tangible objects, papers, or documents obtained from or belonging to the defendant, records of statements or confessions, signed or unsigned by the defendant, or copies thereof, and a summary of any admissions or declarations against penal interest made by the defendant that are known to the prosecution but not recorded, books, papers, documents, etc. I'm supposed to be given a copy of that, if not the originals. Those documents are not considered contraband or are not listed in any of the indictments that you may have before you. So I'm either requesting for the return of the original certified documents, the public records that were taken, or copies of those documents according to the rule which says I have a right to have.
I know, I'm getting old, Reaper, I know. Picking off gray hairs in my goatee, my beard.
I'm also going to address
stressful
that,
times.
On the 12th, I believe a week ago, you stipulated that today's matter...
Stop saying stipulates.
...to jurisdiction, your jurisdiction or the prosecutor's authority of jurisdiction. You have no jurisdiction, and neither does the prosecution, Burlington County, the state of New Jersey, or the United States.
Burlington County.
So I'm letting you know that now, and I'm asserting that I'm protected by the Treaty of Peace and Friendship via 1787, pursuant to Article 4. You must dismiss this case.
Well, thanks to my mother's genes, I've been getting gray hair since I was 23. So, love you, Mom.
For the record, on the record, and let the record show.
For the record, on the record, and let the record show. I'm 35 years young. Not a brat.
as a
It is not my
constitutionally
obligation, and
oath.
do not point
Yes,
at me.
you have a constitutional oath to uphold the Constitution, ma'am.
You misunderstand the procedure. I will attempt
Objection.
to explain it to you.
Objection.
The documents that you want are not documents that are in the court's file at this point in time.
Objection,
I don't know
ma'am.
if they would ever be in the court's file at this point in time. If
That's
your
not-
position
that's
is,
not my problem, ma'am.
If you absolutely, it's your problem.
But it's not, that's
Your
not my
position
problem.
is that you want
Jeremy, I haven't gotten one super chat tonight, so there is nobody who is simulating to Arty's corporate fiction. So
and you have requested them from the prosecutor.
That's right.
And the prosecutor has failed to give them to you.
That's right.
You can make the appropriate application to the court, and you can say to the court, I've asked for them, I'm entitled to them, I haven't gotten them, order them to give it to me.
I've already
I have
filed
received
a
no such...
notarized affidavit of fact in reference to return of property.
Alpha, it's 'cause you're Cinderes.
Affidavit. So you're telling me you don't have to acknowledge affidavits? All right, that's what your statement
I'm the
is.
poster chart for
However,
AARP.
Bottom line
Sounds
is
about
this
right.
court has failed to prove jurisdiction and has avoided the issue of jurisdiction at all costs. And you don't. Nobody in here has the status. All right. Nobody has proven status.
Yes, sovereign citizens
Nobody
really
in here
love
has
to have
no
everything
authority to
notarized.
proceed. Now, the last hearing we discussed, you stated that
Could you please
this
stop yelling
matter,
at me?
this matter, you stated, ma'am, for the record, you stated that this matter was relative to jurisdiction, not Mr. Keesler's position here and not anything else. You stated that you were giving the prosecution
Asian Canadian, thank you very much for the $5 super chat.
He's not even the assigned prosecutor's
Rise
intent,
against the
but obviously
Moors.
he's remaining silent.
Yeah, thank
He
you
has
very
no
much, man.
mistake.
I know
I'll
exactly
move
what you're
this case
referring
be
to.
dismissed.
When there
My
is
first
an
super
appropriate
chat on this channel.
application before this
Thank you very much, Asian Canadian. Much
address the
appreciated.
issue of discovery violations, jurisdiction, or anything
Thank
else,
you, man.
the court will act. Filing a notarized or not notarized affidavit is not an appropriate way to bring a matter
Exactly.
to the attention of the court. What you must file is
Notice
a
of motion.
of motion. It sets forth the relief that you want, and it needs to be supported with a certification, an affidavit, whatever it is.
Can you repeat that, ma'am?
Notice of motion.
Yes, notice of motion. It's a thing in New Jersey.
What I told
Sean Z. Thank you very much with a $1.99
Which
super chat.
Authority, courtroom rule.
Leisure Suit Larry. What did it say? Leisure Suit Larry proclaims his nationality.
Statute. Are you
Now there's a classic game.
Address that matter.
It is
Along
in
with
the
like
court
what?
rules. I do not
King's Quest or
recall,
Myst.
and I'm not going to look up for you the exact.
I'll donate after you pass the bar exam. After you pay the fines, pay the fees, right?
I'm not a party to society. I'm not subject to your courtroom rules, and you have not proven jurisdiction.
And
Now,
I
if you
will
can't
never
prove
address the
jurisdiction,
issue of jurisdiction
Then you-
until
Larry
unless
Laffer challenges
the appropriate
jurisdiction.
application is made before the court, because filing either an affidavit that's notarized or an affidavit that's not notarized does not bring it before the attention of this court.
Objection. There is no discretion to ignore the lack of jurisdiction.
She's not ignoring it.
States. Jurisdiction is fundamental.
Meanwhile, the public defender's like, man, I could be fucking on break right now. I could be helping somebody else right now. I could be anywhere else right now, but I gotta sit here and stand next to this clown.
And a judgment rendered by a court that does not have jurisdiction in here is void ab initio. And that is application of Y300P.1.
Space Quest? I was like, what about Space Ghost?
When it clearly appears the court lacks jurisdiction. The court has no authority to reach merits, but rather should dismiss the action. Melo versus United States 505 F2D. When jurisdiction is challenged, the party invoking jurisdiction has the burden of establishing. Basso versus U.S. Power like company. Enforcement statutes do not act.
Alvin W, $5. Thank you for the super chat. Just for the hell of it. Hey, Alvin, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Look,
and compelled appearance.
I don't plan on monetizing. I mean, super chats are there, but I appreciate it regardless, Alvin. Thank you very much, man. As always. I said for the hell of it.
You can read
James Butler with a 2 pound.
You can read me this.
Wait, is it pound or your? I forget.
You can read it.
I don't speak euro. It's pounds, right? £2 super chat. Maybe he's feeling repressed. Insert Monty Python meme, of course.
No ruling with regard to jurisdiction is ever going to be made. Now, let me ask you this question.
It's shekels.
In the other matter, first
pound sterling.
Let me backtrack a little bit. Let me get the correct number out here because we now have two numbers.
Grew up with the original. I played Mario.
In the case
I had that too, Thomas.
08-04
I had the my sister. Well, it was my sister's NES, mind you, and she had the original Duck Hunt, Mario, and that runner game where you had that pad on the ground that you did the running game. My sister had that for the original NES. That was my first video game, and then I had a Genesis, and then I had a PC that had Leisure Suit Larry and King's Quest and all that jazz. Track and Field, yes, Track and Field. That's what it was.
Which is the one in which
Asia, can you another $5? I'll keep donating $5 if you don't monetize reviews. All right, fair enough. You drive a hard bargain, sir. And
he told
all right,
me that he had filed a
I'll
notice of
demonetize my other vids after
you
this.
filed a notice of removal to federal court with regard to any of these matters?
Yes, ma'am. Notice of removal
All
has
of
been
them?
filed
All of them?
regarding all.
Arty used to put the gun really close to the screen. I'm gonna plead the fifth on that.
Tell me, when did you file this?
It was filed last night. FedEx.
To
By
the
way of
federal
FedEx.
court?
To the federal court.
All right.
Yes.
Well, as I am sure you are aware, if the court accepts them, then we will simply transfer them.
See, that's definitely
to the
old
federal
school.
court. We won't deal with them anymore.
Yeah, I was too young for an Atari 2600 or
you've not proven
a
jurisdiction
Magnavox.
in either of the hearings, and that you've avoided addressing
Deacon.
the issue of jurisdiction.
And I will continue to not address the
With a
issue of
$20 super
until
chat.
the appropriate motion is filed with the court.
Thank you,
and the court
Deacon.
has the ability to address
You did not
it
need to
and
do
make a determination.
You did not need to do that. I appreciate it regardless.
That's
You-
the issue at hand. As
That's
currently
right.
stands, we are
And you will hear it
Objection.
when all this is over. It'll be the swan song for tonight's stream.
File that motion. Given the fact that he will not cooperate with our office.
Thank you, Deacon, very much for your generosity. I know you were very generous beforehand in my other video game stream.
Now, we addressed the issue
Thank you
to
so
some extent
much.
with regard to the indictments. I have here for you,
You're
and
way
the
too
record will
kind.
reflect that I am giving you a copy of the indictment that has 08-07-0727 and also 08-04-0441.
Objection. Just for the record,
You know, I
public defense is not.
I can't handle
You don't have any power of attorney.
stuff like that this time. You
I'm
know.
not part of your society, so you
I,
cannot represent me, and we do not share nationalities. Okay, now,
Nathan,
for the record,
Nathan, you've
nationality
contributed
of every agent in here.
far
and the name
more
and
than
information
enough than you
from
should have.
Everybody.
Mr.
Nathan, you
Kramer.
have nothing
Everybody.
more to contribute.
So I need everybody's name
Please don't.
and your position,
Excuse me.
starting with you,
Excuse
sir.
me. Who is
The same
calling
with
out
you,
for
Wazoo.
I was, man.
No, you were not.
And you, John Doe.
No, do not hand anything over.
The
No.
guys, like you guys have
In the
been
audience, please do not call out
Um,
while court is in session, or the officer will ask you to leave.
tipping me money that I feel like I still don't deserve. So I still thank you very much for it, but I don't know what I'm doing right. I don't know what I'm doing that deserves it, but thank you. T Hizzy, $5. Big fan of the channel. Thank you, T Hizzy. I really T Hizzity. T Hizzity. There it is. Thank you very much, man, for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
I need your name and position, sir. I need your name and position, sir.
No one is going to give you any information.
Ma'am, are you stating that
There's a
you
fire
are
truck
not
and ambulance at your house. What the hell, man?
Identity and status.
You know my name.
Are you okay?
Your employees or your
Wazoo, what the hell?
are obligated to provide me with their identity, status, and company.
No. The court clerk, the intern, the secretary, or the sheriff are not obligated to give you their nationality or their company employee identity. you asshole. That's the other thing too, Deacon. These guys it's very apparent that these guys associate nationality with race. Race and or ethnicity or bloodline. It's not nationality as in, you know, I was born a Chinese national or I was born in the UK, so I'm a UK national. These guys attribute nationality as a bloodline thing and as status, as Liz D mentioned. Yeah, it's messed up. And this guy, you know, says like, I want his name, I want his name, I want her name, and I want his name because he plans on suing everybody.
Any position now? Ma'am?
Yes?
Did you not just hear me?
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. I was trying to get the paperwork together.
Okay.
Can you wait a moment till I'm finished?
No, I'm going to review myself. I'm here on the time, man.
Hold on. I'm trying to get all these papers together.
No, it was a simple question. I'm sure you can answer it while you get your papers together.
I cannot get...
Again, condescending asshole. Condescending asshole. Seriously, why are you being such a dick?
I can't answer. This only has 3. Okay.
That's what I think it was. Magnavox Odyssey was I was thinking of along with the Atari.
The last case and bring it in, and we'll staple them together.
Well, I'm Puerto Rican. That if you're going to ask me what my heritage is, what my family is, what my ethnicity is, I'm Puerto Rican. That's what I'm going to tell you. Are you going to tell me what my nationality is? I'm an American because I was born in the United States. Are you going to tell me what my bloodline is? Well, according to my dad, who, you know, submitted his DNA to, you know, Stanford University or what have you, he was able to find out that, you know, our family apparently had people who are on both sides of the Civil War, but ultimately they came from both Spain and Portugal. If you go far enough back, Spain and Portugal. So, if you want my bloodline, that's where you go. But if you're going to ask me what my ethnicity is, Puerto Rican. You're going to ask me what my nationality is, American, because I was born in the United States. But apparently, some of these Moorish Americans do not get that, do not understand it, and refuse to accept that because a lot of them take this whole bloodline is nationality bit to the extreme.
All right, Noble Amir KCL.
I don't speak Spanish. I understand at least a little bit of it. My parents never taught me. I wish they did. But I couldn't hold a conversation, if I'm going to be honest. My brother can, by virtue of his work. You know, he's an officer in Texas. And my sister speaks Spanish because actually that was her first language. But I can't.
You complained about discovery. I think I've addressed that. I'm giving you the copies of the indictments, and you said you've never been interviewed. I'm sure that Mr.
I'm an Iberian.
can give you now a date for you to be interviewed.
Objection, ma'am. I do not require the Office of Public Defense or any attorney at law.
And the guy, the public defender is like,
that you hadn't been interviewed.
No, what I stated was, if he was representation
¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
Representation on this case, he has not provided assistance. If he was representation for this case, the assistance is ineffective.
Well, my understanding is that Judge Smith has required Mr. Kiesler to represent you.
Objection. I've addressed this matter with Judge Smith. Judge Smith does not have jurisdiction and could not prove jurisdiction. Therefore, Judge Smith does not have the authority to make any decisions for me. And neither do you. And neither does Mr. Kiesler, and neither does the Office of Public Defense. For the record. Now, as I stated, you just told me that you denied my question. My question was,
the fuck?
I need
time for some Duolingo. I have Duolingo on my phone, for the record, and let the record show.
In position, I want her name in position, and I want his name in position, and I want your nationality.
Me, and I am now going to.
They left false alarm. I do have Star Trek Discovery uploaded. God damn it, want to.
Ask you not to point to anyone else in the courtroom. It is very impolite.
I want his name in position.
You know my name. You know my name. That is all you need to know.
Jeremy, this is
I don't know your name, man.
Barnegat Lager from Ship Bottom Brewery.
Your nationality?
You have no need to know my nationality.
Yes, I do. You are attempting to force business upon me. I need to know your nationality. For the record.
Again, he's asking something that she's like, what the fuck is that your business is, what my nationality is, because she's probably interpreting his comment as, you want to know what my heritage is? It shouldn't matter whether or not I'm Irish or Italian or German or what the fuck. Doesn't matter. Irrelevant. But according to this guy, it does. And according to this guy's ideology, it does.
And your status. For the
hey, Mark.
Anybody else that's working with
Turkson, thank you. $5 super chat. But it's just fiat currency. I know it's
are you comfortable with using, man?
Fake fiat, unbacked currency. But hey, it'll get me a sandwich at McDonald's, I guess. Thank you very much, Mark, for the $5 super chat.
All right. The record.
Hey, what's up, Jay?
I am going to give to Noble Amir Kusamir L. I'm sorry, Noble Amir KCL, a copy of indictment 08-07-0727 and indictment 08-04-0441.
Objection, ma'am. Could you state for the record who those indictments are addressed to?
Well,
stating who you were giving to. Objection. Wait, no. Hand that back to her because she needs to repeat. She needs to state for the record.
I am handing the papers to Noble Amir KCL.
I need to know who's on it, ma'am.
It doesn't matter who's on it.
Yes,
I'm
it
giving
does.
you copies of papers.
I need to know who's addressed to.
Read it.
If it's not addressed to me,
read it.
You've not read my notarized affidavits.
Read it.
You've not read my notarized affidavits.
Right. Well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give this matter another date. Mr. Kiesler, you can make whatever application you want. Noble Amir KCL, you can make whatever application you want. Hopefully, in the meantime, we will hear from the federal court with regard to the removal application.
But I'm going to just state for the record that your application to do any further.
All right, I didn't realize that this was going on past 10 o'clock. This is going to be the last video. There is more to this, unfortunately. I'll stop it here because I don't want to have Marvel Girls stream go start too late. So I'm going to stop here, and then we are going to raid and move on to Marvel Girls stream in a bit. Before I do that, of course, I will be wishing Deacon a happy birthday, as promised.
Other proceedings are denied because you have not proven jurisdiction, neither has the prosecution who was here and present. Prosecution, would you state your proof of claim for the record?
Your Honor, would any motion by our office be heard on the next date, or would you set a separate hearing?
No, it'll be heard on the next date.
Thank you.
For the record, your application to proceed to set any hearings is denied. It's not proven jurisdiction.
April 6th.
Denied.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused, Judge?
This is the only notice that I will give Noble Amir KCL at the April 6th date. I don't know if anyone sends out, I don't know if Mr. Kiesler's office sends out letters reminding people, but I don't. We'll simply expect that you will be here on April 6th. And please, let me just say this. If you want this court to rule with regard to jurisdiction, it is very simple to bring the issue before me. All you need to do is file the appropriate application, a notice of motion.
Yes.
Objection, ma'am.
You can file all these other papers, and it's just never going to happen, son.
No, it's not.
Objection, ma'am. That's not my problem that you're not upholding the law, ma'am. That's not my problem. That's your problem, ma'am. Because regardless you people understand or not, you've all fired yourselves. So there is no room to set another hearing because you failed to prove jurisdiction in every hearing that we've had. Judge Smith has failed to prove jurisdiction. You failed to prove jurisdiction. Prosecutor Luciano's failed to prove jurisdiction. You people fired yourselves. I'm letting you know that right now. You violated the constitutional oath. I'm protected by the Treaty of Peace and Friendship via 1787.
Maybe excuse me.
Yes, Mr. Keesler, thank you.
Can I please go?
Matter dissolved?
No, it's not dissolved.
No, it's not, asshole. All right.
Casey.
All right, we're done here. It's 10:14. She's about to start. Okay. All right, hold on. What she? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Deacon. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Deacon. I know your birthday's in a couple hours. Congratulations. I hope it's an awesome one. And now, everybody, move on to Marvel Girls live stream. She's about to go live with some more bingo. So, I'm not going to say that word, John. Just because you want me to say it. Because even then, the videos are supposed to be saying it, not me. It wouldn't count if I'm the one who's saying it. It wouldn't even count regardless. So go off there, go to her channel when she was going in, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching, much appreciated. Thank you so much for the super chats. Really, it's really appreciated, and it's more than I can ask for. Thank you very much. Now I will see you guys on Marvel's channel. So take care, guys. Thank you very much. Good night. Adios. Archer.